Pa and Jethro is up. They'll be down to breakfast in a few minutes.
Good. Let's get our signs and commence picketing for the women's lib.
Oh, Bessie, I pretty near forgot your sign. Here you are.
Ellie, them girls at the bank didn't say nothing about apes lib.
Well, Bessie's a girl.
Never mind, I hear the men a-coming.
What's going on?
Read the signs.
Yeah.
Free women? Hot dog, I'll take a couple. Where is they? What's this all about?
Us women who have suffered for centuries of
Discrimination and subservience.
yeah. And we hereby demand equality and proclaim,
Our independence from the domination of men.
right.
Where'd you hear that speech?
Oh, the girl down at the bank learned it to us.
But it's what's in the minds and hearts of women everywhere.
We got to have our freedom.
Could we talk about this after breakfast? That coffee smells awful good.
Would you like me to pour it for you?
Well, yeah, thanks.
Well, here I go, male supremacist.
What'd you do that for?
For women's lib. Make your own coffee.
Well, okay, but what's women's lib?
Liberation from the tyranny of
Chauvinistic male dictatorship.
right.
I looked all over the place. I can't find no women. These signs is what you call false advertising. Get rid of them.
How would you like to have it wrapped around your head?
Ellie, don't stoop to the level of the male brute.
Yes, ma'am, Granny. Come on, Bessie.
Uncle Jed, what are you doing?
Making coffee.
Men ain't supposed to do that. That's what women is for. Here, Granny. Get busy.
Take it easy, boy.
But I'm hungry. I want my breakfast. Hey, what does this mean?
It means that women like me is tired of being ordered around for hundreds of years.
I didn't know Granny was that old.
Jethro, why don't you go back outside?
Not till I get my breakfast. Now, here, Granny, get swinging.
I wouldn't put that notion in her head.
But I'm hungry. I want some victuals.
Boy, go sit at the table.
That's more like it. Here, Granny, I'll have a double helping of everything.
There goes your typical pleasure-seeking male animal. You men is all alike. All you want to do is eat and get to your country club.
Country club?
Whilst us women stay home and slave. You is out shooting golfs, tennis, martini on the rocks, and having steam saunas.
Jethro and me spends our days mowing the lawn, raking leaves, trimming the hedges, chopping wood, painting, plumbing, and repairing.
There you are. You was out having fun whilst we is home slaving.
Come on, pleasure-seeking male animal. Let's get out of here for a spell.
Where are we going?
To our country club. Where else?
What do they got at the country club?
Tennis, golf, steam saunas.
Hot dog. I'm gonna have you a double helping of them steam saunas. I'm hungry.
Oh, no, not again.
Good morning, male supremacist.
Good morning, oppressor of women. Good morning, chauvinist pig.
Does this heat belong to one of you?
Yes, it's mine.
Well, all of you hop in it, get out of here, or I'll repossess it.
It's all paid for. It's mine, free and clear. And we have a permit to picket here.
And as soon as the rest of the girls arrive, we will picket this bank from one end to the other.
That is what you think. Joe, Charlie, come out here. Bring your baseball bats. Now, I'll give you one more chance to disperse. All right, clear the sidewalk.
Okay, Susie. Gentlemen, would you care to try for broken arm?
Are you husky guards afraid of 3 girls?
No, just one of them. That's Susie.
Okay, I'm impressed. Now let's make peace. Come back to work for me, and you'll get a raise and a bonus.
Hooray!
Victory at last.
No, not you two, just Susie.
Just me?
Right. Forget these losers and work for me. You'll have a combination job as my secretary and bodyguard. You'll have a great deal just signed right here on the dotted line.
I thought we were going to have breakfast at our country club.
We don't belong to no country club.
Well, then where are we going to eat?
Right here.
Well, who's going to cook?
Looks like it's gonna be one of us.
Okay. I'll have bacon and eggs, ham and grits, pancakes and sausage, lots of toast and jelly, and a side order of hush puppies.
You sure that's enough?
You better start me off with a big bowl of cereal covered with bananas and strawberries.
No steak and taters?
Okay, as long as you cook and throw that in, too. And rare on the steak.
Get through. Get up from there. We're gonna match pennies for this.
After breakfast, Uncle Jed, I'm too hungry to play games now.
We're gonna match pennies to see who does the cooking. The other one will wash the dishes.
Okay. I'll match you.
Heads.
Tails.
You do the cooking, I'll wash the dishes.
Okay.
Call me when you're ready.
I'm ready for you, Uncle Jed.
What all did you cook?
Everything that was in the icebox. Ham hocks, a couple dozen eggs, side of bacon, grits, and I even warmed up the leftover pot roast and taters.
Them victuals smells good.
They tasted good, too.
You ate them?
Yep.
All of them?
Yep.
And why did you call me in?
Well, now it's time for your half of the work. I done the cooking. You wash the dishes.
Look, Granny, Pa's home.
You and Jethro must have sneaked in the back way.
I reckon so. Ladies, can we talk for a minute?
What about?
Women's lib.
Is you for it or again it?
I'm for it. Now, can we talk?
No use talking. The rights that we are seeking is, what is that again, Ellie?
Non-negotiable.
That means we gotta get 'em.
You got it.
You giving in, Pa?
Absolutely.
You surrenders?
Unconditional.
You admit that women's as good as men?
Better.
Does that mean that you, what is that again, Ellie?
Capitulates.
Yeah. Does you do that?
Whatever that means, I does it.
Well, Ellie, I reckon that means we has won.
Good. My hands is blistered from toting his sign.
Mine, too.
Well, what do you say we celebrate by fetching up one of them great big hickory smoked hams out of the root cellar and frying us up a mess of it?
That sounds good.
Yeah, this picketing gives me an appetite. To tell you the truth, Jed, it was mostly them girls down at the bank that got us picketed. What's that?
That's Uncle Jed's in my laundry. You forgot to pick it up this morning, Granny.
Jethro.
Now hop to it, and no starch in my collar this time. It's sawing my neck.
Jethro.
Oh, and here's some socks that needs darning.
Jethro.
And these pants needs patching. And Ellie, our beds ain't made. Now, will you stop playing with that ape and get at it? You and Granny done wasted half the day.
Ellie, back to the women's lib.
Granny, Ellie, the boy didn't mean. He was just...
Hey, Uncle Jed, what's with them two?
They got mad and left.
You must have done something to upset them.
More than likely.
You ought to leave them to me. I know how to handle women.
Yeah, you're a whiz, boy.
Hey, who's gonna wash them clothes?
I kind of think it's going to be us.
Okay. No starch in my collars, old-timer.
Hold it.
But I'm kind of busy, Uncle Jed.
Not as busy as you're going to be.
Boy, this is ridiculous. A Hollywood playboy washing clothes. If word was to get out to the Hollywood gossip columnists and fan magazines, I'd be the laughing stock of Schwab's drugstore.
What's that?
Well, that's kind of a meeting place for Hollywood celebrities. I hangs out there a lot, except when they runs me off.
Well, I don't think they'll be running you off today. By the time you get through washing and ironing, it's going to be tomorrow.
Jim, have you ever thought what I might do if I was forced to continue this humiliating kind of work?
Oh, what might you do?
I might just run away from home.
That's the first ray of sunshine on a dark day.
Well, how are you superior male dictators doing?
We're doing the best we can.
Pa, you don't have to wash clothes like this. There's a washer right yonder.
We didn't know how to run it.
What do you think you're doing?
Darn socks.
Granny, look at this.
You ain't darning socks. You're ruining them.
I'm doing the best I can.
You'll have to walk awful pigeon-toed to wear these.
I reckon it will take a while for me to get the knack of it.
Granny, let's help Pa.
Only if he's ready to change his ways.
I'm ready.
Do you admit that men ain't superior?
I'll put it in writing.
Are you through grinding women under your heels?
Oh, yeah, no more of that.
Are you for women's lib?
Heart and soul.
All right, Ellie. You take over the darning. I'll finish the washing.
Yes'm, Granny.
Well, it's about time you lazy women was back to work.
Jethro.
Here, Granny. It's a good thing you's back carrying your own weight. I just about had it with you two.
Jethro.
Come on, Ellie. These men ain't learned their lesson.
Jethro.
Sure got dark all of a sudden, Uncle Jed. Hey, where's Granny and Ellie?
They got mad and left again.
Well, what did you do to upset them this time?
Welcome to the picket line, girls. Soon be joined by twice our number.
Girls, I would like to introduce my combination secretary and bodyguard, Bonsai Sakito. Now, I'm asking you once more to hop into that pile of junk and leave.
We refuse.
And my car is not a pile of junk.
Bonsai, show the young lady that she is wrong.
He demolished it.
Now, would you girls like to try for demolished heads?
Get him, Susie.
Stop! 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 Onna ro kaiho undo wa yaburemashita.
What did you say?
I said, woman's lib is for the birds. Let's get out of here.
No sign of the ambulance yet?
Ambulance? Who needs an ambulance?
Oh, Jethro hurt himself.
Well, I'm a doctor. Why didn't you call me?
Well, you got more important things, Granny. There's women's lib movement.
Nonsense. My own kith and kin is hurt. How'd it happen?
Well, he was scrubbing the floor, and he slipped in some suds and whomped his head, something awful. There he lays, Doctor.
Oh, that poor boy. Here, Ellie, quick. Mop up the rest of those suds so nobody else will slip and fall. I'll take care of this poor unconscious.
The trick worked, Uncle Jed. Look at old Ellie Mae mop that floor.
Jethro.
And Granny, there's lots of clothes that needs ironing. And then commence fixing victuals, because I'm hungry.
Jethro.
Come on, Ellie.
Jethro.
It got dark again. Hey, where's Granny and Ellie?
They got mad and left.
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah, I upset him again.
You know something? I ain't too happy with you.
Really? Well, I'm tickled pink with you. How's it going, boy?
It's going terrible. This is wrecking my whole image. If someone was to take a picture of me like this, I'd never get into Harvard.
Harvard?
Yeah, you gotta have class to get in there.
Seems I've heard about that place.
Of course you have. Next to Schwab's, it's the classiest drugstore on Hollywood Boulevard.
Well, we see to it that nobody takes a picture.
Uncle Jed, is Ellie and Granny still picking it?
I'm afraid so.
Well, I'm getting hungry. You aim to cook me something?
Well, I hadn't planned on it.
Well, gee whiz, I cooked the last meal.
You ate it, too.
Well, there you are. I'm doing everything. The eating, the cooking,
The scorching?
Huh?
You just burned a hole in your pants.
You was wrong, Uncle Jed.
Good.
They's your pants.
Tell me, boy, have you given any more thought to running away?
If one more thing goes wrong around here, I might.
Name it. Well, Mr. Drysdale, this is Jed Clampett. Tell me, is them girls at your bank still picketing for women's lib?
No, sir. I put a stop to that foolishness. They are? Granny and Ellie? Well, leave them to me, Mr. Clampett. I've learned how to handle militant women. Yes, I'll take over from here. Bye. Banzai, we've got another rebellion to put down.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. I mean, male supremacist.
Oppressor of women.
Granny, Ellie, I am here in response to a call for help from Mr. Clampett.
Oh, you're going to do the cooking and washing for Pa and Jethro? It sure will be good news for them.
The only thing I'm here to do is to put a stop to this women's lib foolishness.
It ain't foolishness.
I say it is. And Banzai will demonstrate the unquestionable superiority of men. Banzai?
Who's that goomer?
This is the #1 karate fighter in the entire world. Banzai, show this little lady how strong you are. No, not my car. Granny, what do you think of that?
I think he hadn't ought to done it. That was a good bench, and now it ain't worth shucks to settle on.
He did that to put you in your place. Now, unless you stop this picketing, he's going to have to teach you a further lesson.
Well, he better hadn't.
Do you admit that men are superior?
No!
Banzai, destroy the other bench.
Oh, no, you don't!
Are you sure Mr. Drysdale's here to do our work for us?
Yes, sir, Pop.
Hot dog. I sure hope he can cook.
Who is that?
That is the #2 karate fighter in the entire world.
What happened to him?
He just met #1.
Where you all going?
We is leaving home.
Any chance you taking Jethro with you?
No,
We's moving into Miss Jane's apartment with her.
Don't do that. There's plenty of room here.
not since you and Mr. Drysdale fetched in that big bully to beat us up.
Some bully. You like to kill him.
Well, he had no business wrecking a good iron bench. You men is all alike. You gotta learn a lesson.
Bye, Pa.
Please, I'm begging.
No use talking. We's leaving.
What I'm begging you for is to take Jethro with you.
Johnny come Miss Jane in her dune buggy.
Hey, where's they going?
He's leaving home, boy.
Oh, what dim-witted thing did you do this time?
I don't know.
Thank goodness you got my giant brain to fall back on.
I could use something soft right now.
I'm sorry about this uncomfortable mode of transportation, but Mr. Drysdale's bodyguard destroyed Helen's car.
What'd he do, run into it?
He struck it with his hand and broke it in two.
That must be the goomer that busted up my iron bench.
Bonsai's here?
Oh, yes, ma'am, Miss Jane. He's resting in the parlor.
Well, we better get out of here before he destroys the dune buggy.
No, he won't be doing no more destroying for a spell.
Granny clobbered him.
Bonsai?
Yeah.
Well, he's a judo champion, a karate champion. He must have 5 or 6 belts.
I I give him about 4 more.
Uncle Jed, this here is one example of how my giant brain operates. I have done come up with an idea that does away with iron.
Is them my long johns?
That's right. I figured out if you uses lots of starch and lays them out in the sun to dry, you don't have to iron them.
How am I supposed to get into these?
Uncle Jed, you're just gonna have to do some thinking for yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wouldn't be fair to let you carry the whole load.
I also come up with an idea that does away with cooking.
How's that one work?
You do it.
I'm sorry, Bonsai. I've got to get back to the bank. I'll talk to you later.
How's Mr. Bonsai feeling?
Very humiliated.
Granny sure whooped the tar out of him.
Shh, please. He already feels that he's lost a lot of face.
Well, as I recollect, that ain't just a great big loss.
No, I don't mean that literally. He simply feels ashamed because he was defeated by a woman.
That ain't nothing to be ashamed of. When Granny's riled, I've seen her drop a full-grown bull.
Heck yeah.
Well, Bonsai is so disgraced, he doesn't want to show himself for a while. Can he stay here?
Of course he can. I'll go tell him.
Hey, Mr. Drysdale, can that bonsai feller cook?
No, Jethro, Japanese men do not cook.
Well, can he do the laundry?
No.
Well, can he scrub floors or make beds?
Jethro, Japanese men do not perform domestic chores. The women of their household do all the work. They wait on him hand and foot. In his own home, he is king.
Hey, how about me moving in his place?
I told Mr. Bonsai he's welcome to stay here till he finds his face.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Clampett. Well, I'll see you later.
Uncle Jed, that fella can't cook, can't do laundry, can't scrub floors or make beds or nothing. You're making work for yourself.
Matter of fact, Jethro, he asked could he fetch his women folk over to take care of all that.
What did you say?
I said, sure, go right ahead.
Well, how about that? You finally done something right. You know, if you hang out with me long enough, you'll be as smart as me.
Well, thanks, boy. I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, excuse me.
Be sure to see the Beverly Hillbillies next week when Granny and Ellie move into my apartment with disastrous results. Meanwhile, the women of Bonsai's household arrive.
Enter flowers of the Orient. This is Mr. Clampett.
Well, howdy, ladies.
And Mr. Clampett lives the life of an Oriental potentate.
Climate Sam speaking.
Hello, Jed. This is Granny. Are you suffering?
Oh, yeah, I sure am.
Are you ready to knuckle under and give in to the women's lib? Have you learned your lesson?
Well, Granny, not yet. I think I ought to suffer a couple more days. Yeah, let's stay in touch. Don't call me, I'll call you. Bye.
Don't miss the Beverly Hillbillies next week.
Oh, boy. This week's episode of Superbank is really terrific. Hey, look at this.
Chief, I am trying to drive, and besides, we're already late for Jethro's farewell breakfast.
Farewell breakfast. He's not going into the Army Reserve today. He's only going for an interview and a qualification test.
I know, but the Clampetts think he's going, and besides, we have already kept them waiting because you had to stop and buy those stupid comic books.
Superbanker is not a stupid comic book. It's the thrilling adventures of Harold Hart. In everyday life, a mild-mannered bank president. Oh, shut up! This is inspirational literature.
Oh, come now. A bank president who sneaks into his vault and comes out as Money Man?
Yes, Money Man. A patriot that fights for the things that make this country what it is. Baseball, mom's apple pie, hot dogs, second mortgages, hidden interest charges. In this week's episode, he's headed for France to stop the gold drain.
Any bank president who comes out of his vault looking like money is headed for South America.
You are coming dangerously close to seditious slander. Money Man is a national hero.
Only to you. To everybody else, he is an odious, imbecilic, nickel-nursing nut!
That does it. Now pull over and stop this car.
What for?
I am making a citizen's arrest.
Me?
You bet. I am charging you with high treason. We're going to the FBI office in the Federal Building.
Oh, sit down. are going to Jethro's farewell breakfast in the fancy eating room.
Well, I don't hardly think we ought to wait for Miss Jane and Mr. Drysdale no longer. We don't want Jethro to be late to his first date. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this food and all the many blessings you bestow on us. This morning, we'd like to ask a little extra favor. Jethro here is going off to serve his country, and we'd be mighty grateful if you'd kind of keep an eye on him. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
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 Amen. When are we going to give Jethro his presents and make our speeches, Paul?
Well, seeing it don't take the boy long to eat, maybe we'd best commence right now. Jethro, I know how you must feel this morning. Leaving home for the first time is a mighty solemn occasion. And I reckon your heart is full and there's a lump in your throat. We're mighty proud of you, and we know that you must be proud, too. Proud and happy at this chance to serve the country that has been so good to all of us. You have heard your country's call to duty, and this is your answer. Well, I reckon that's enough talking. I'll show you how I feel.
Don't shoot him, Jed. I ain't said my speech yet.
I ain't gonna shoot him, Granny. I just want to give him a squirrel gun. Jethro, my pa gave this gun to me, and his pa gave it to him. I think it's only fitting that I pass it along to... Boy. Soldier.
Well, Uncle Jed, you going hunting?
I'm just making you a going-away present of this rifle.
Well, thank you.
Now, I know the Army sets a great store by sharpshooting. And old Nellie here can bark a squirrel and... All right, Granny, you give it a try.
Mr. President, members of Congress, fellow delegates, honored guests, distinguished visitors. What's wrong with her?
Nothing. She's been reading speeches all week.
I think Thomas Jefferson expressed the emotions of all of us when he said, roll in flour, salt to taste, fry in deep fat.
Bring it on, Granny.
Oh, that's my directions for frying chicken.
Keep going, Granny. You're the first one to get his attention.
Oh, I can't make a speech, but I would like to say a few words about my present. Jethro, I want you to wear this uniform with pride and valor, like my granddaddy wore it in the Great War.
Granny, that's a Confederate uniform.
You bet it is. And this is the sword he used to defend our country when the North invaded America.
I'll slip out and answer the door.
It's decorated on the field of battle following our great victory at Gettysburg. And this medal was given to him by General Lee after the final Yankee defeat at Appomattox.
Granny, the Yankees wasn't defeated. It was the South.
What did you say?
I keep telling you, Granny. The North won. General Grant whooped General Lee.
Well, howdy, folks. Come in.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, I'm so sorry we're late for Jethro's farewell breakfast.
Oh, that's all right. I know you got a lot of important things to tend to.
Important things. We stopped to pick up the latest edition of Super Banker comic book.
Don't blame her too much. He's really hooked on it.
What?
He's every woman's hero.
Of all the unmitigated...
That's all right, Miss Jane. You're just in time to hear Granny's farewell speech to Jethro.
Get away!
Blue lady, coming back!
She must have made a very moving speech.
Yeah, I ain't seen a boy move that fast in a long time.
What was Jethro carrying?
His breakfast. He ain't one to let saving his life standing away eating.
Hi, back. Oh, howdy, Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale.
Ellie?
I didn't have a chance to give Jethro my present.
Well, we'll get to that. You all go in the fancy eating room. I'll go fetch back the guest of honor and the Speaker of the House.
What are you giving him, Ellie?
Well, I made him a whole box of lady fingers. He likes a snack between bites.
You mean between meals?
Not Jethro.
Well, here's my little going-away present, soldier boy. Something to decorate your barracks.
Thanks, Miss Jane. Oh, what is it?
It's a pin-up picture of me.
Please, not while we're eating.
Wow! Hot dog!
Let's see.
Boy, Miss Jane, in a bathing suit, you're a different woman.
How true, how true. Oh, here's my present, Jethro. Now, I know you have an appointment down at Reserve Headquarters, so I won't make any speeches.
Hey, will you look at this? Hey, what is it, Mr. Drysdale?
That, my boy, is a money man piggy bank. You see, he has a hole in his head.
How true, how true.
I'll show you how it works. When you drop in the dime, the eyes light up.
That's real cunning.
Sure is. Here's my present, Jethro.
Well, thanks, Ellie. Hey, what is it?
Well, I went and see. I made it myself.
Hey, Uncle Jed, will you look at this? Ellie made me bullets for your rifle.
That was lady fingers. Give me a sword, Granny.
Well, I'm off to the reserve. Bye.
Don't stand there, Miss Hathaway. Get him, bring him back.
Yes, the dear boy forgot his picture.
Never mind that. My dime is still in that bank.
Just before the battle, Mother, I am thinking most of you. While upon the field of battle, with the enemy in view. Farewell, Mother, you may never press me to your heart again. But oh, you'll not forget me, Mother, if I'm numbered with the slain. Make your country proud of you, boy. Remember, you're a Tennessee volunteer. Come on, Ellie. Let's get the flag and the rest of the stuff.
Yes, sir, Granny.
We've been ripping up petticoats to make bandages.
Uncle Jed, I can't show up at the Army Reserve looking like this. What are they gonna think?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You ain't gonna be just another face in the crowd. Bet you it ain't every day they get a boy in a Confederate uniform toting a squirrel rifle that shoots ladyfingers.
Uncle Jed, what am I gonna tell them?
Tell them the truth. Tell me you wore it to please a sweet, sentimental little old gray-haired granny who would break your leg if you didn't.
Can't you convince her that the Civil War is over and that the South lost?
No, I can't, and I ain't gonna try. At my age, a broke leg don't mend too fast.
Oh, gee whiz. What am I gonna do?
Well, my advice is for you to get out of here, or you'll be carrying a Confederate flag and wearing petticoat bandages.
I'll bet you there ain't another fella in the Army Reserve with a granny like mine.
Boy, don't falter too much. Remember, your granny is old. She's never asked but one thing out of life. Her own way.
Well, I just hope they don't throw me out before I get in.
Well, they'll understand if you just tell them the truth. Always remember that, boy. The truth will set you free.
Okay. But even with my 6th grade education, I'm gonna look like a nut.
That ought to set him free.
Sir, I hope you won't go to laughing at the uniform right off.
Ah, looks great to me.
But this is a Confederate uniform.
Yeah, I know. Sit down. I'll tell the colonel you're here. Excuse me, Colonel. The studio has started to send over those Civil War soldiers.
We're supposed to come in till after lunch.
Yeah, the first boy's here.
They'll probably be straggling in all day. All right, send him in.
Sir, are you going to be casting any Southern belles?
I'm not casting. I'm just the technical advisor.
Why couldn't you be an expert on bikinis instead of Civil War uniforms?
Send the boy in. And, Sergeant, for your information, it's not just uniforms. It's all equipment.
Sir, you ought to go down to the beach sometime. There's some mighty fine equipment running around with those.
Send the boy in.
Step right in here, Stonewall.
Turn around. Excellent. Very authentic. Tennessee Volunteers.
Well, how'd you know?
That's my job. Let me see the gun. Oh, I can't let you use this.
Why not?
Too good, too modern. Okay, you can go now. You're in.
In the Army?
That's correct.
I'm gonna fight.
You sure are. You're gonna get licked, but not until you put up a real scrap.
Well, excuse me, sir, but who am I gonna be fighting?
The Union Army.
Where?
Culpeper Plantation. You rebels will be dug in, and Grant's troops will surround the place.
Well, where's the Culpeper Plantation?
Somewhere up in Beverly Hills. You'll be taken there. We don't want the public to know where the shooting's going to be.
You mean it's gonna be the Civil War all over again?
It better be. That's what I'm being paid for.
Well, when's all this gonna commence?
Monday morning. Didn't they tell you anything?
No, sir.
Well, you'll find out soon enough. I've said too much already.
Can I take my gun?
I told you no. With guns like that, the South would win the war. They hired me, so mistakes like that won't happen. See you Monday.
It's lonesome without Jethro.
I don't want to talk about him, Ellie. Going off to war without his country's banner.
Granny, Uncle Jed!
He's come back for it, Granny. His conscience is hurting him.
More likely his stomach is hurting him. He ain't et in 2 hours. See? Right to the icebox.
Hey, Granny, I got news for you.
Bare your head in the presence of the grand old flag.
Sorry,
Hey, how come you're home from the reserve so quick?
because I found out who these reserves for. The Yankees.
What?
The North is gonna commence fighting again.
No.
Yep, I heard the whole scheme down at headquarters.
You mean they didn't learn their lesson at Gettysburg and Appomattox?
All I know is they's fixing to attack the first thing Monday morning.
Where?
Right here in Beverly Hills. A place called a Culpeper's Plantation.
Well, where's that?
Well, they wouldn't tell me. Said they didn't want the people to know where the shooting was gonna be.
My dingies. Them Yankees meant it.
Meant what, Granny?
For years they've been muttering the North will rise again. This time we'll nip their rebellion in the bud. Where's your gun?
But they took it away from me.
What?
They said it was too good. Said the South could win with guns like that.
Why, them dirty, thieving Yankee bushwhackers.
Let's get Pa and go down there and whoop.
Yeah, let's go, Granny.
No, young'uns, it might be a trap. Now, as for Jed, he's got a blind spot when it comes to the Yankees. He always says, let sleeping dogs lie. Well, they've lied for the last time.
What are we gonna do, Granny?
Well, first we gotta get some information. Where the plantation is and the Yankee plan of battle.
Well, how are we gonna get it, Granny?
Did you ever hear of Belle Boyd, the beautiful Confederate spy?
No, ma'am.
Well, she proved that a pretty face and a stunning figure could always loosen them Yankees' tongues. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good. You stay here and finish the dishes, and Jethro will drive me down.
Ready to go, Granny.
Jethro, go change your clothes. If they see me consorting with a Confederate, they'll know I'm a spy.
Yes, Granny.
It beats me how the South won with boys like that.
Boy, Granny, you're something else.
You ain't just whistling Dixie. One look at my only thing they know. And if the calf don't get 'em, the colt will.
Granny, I'm all done with my dishes. Can I please come along?
No, honey. In the dangerous game of toying with a man's emotions, there's no substitute for experience. And I need all I can get. It's been a long time.
Well, couldn't I just watch and see how you vamp 'em, fella?
On one condition.
Well, what's that?
The tricks I learn you can drive a man stark, raving mad. You gotta promise to only use them in the defense of your country.
I promise.
All right.
Well, I best go put on a dress. I wouldn't want 'em to think I was a boy.
Beats me how the South won with girls like that.
Okay, fellas, you want to step inside, please? Sergeant, have you been to lunch?
No, sir.
Well, you go ahead. I'll manage.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. Excellent. Can you ride?
Yes, sir. I've done some cowboy parts.
Oh, hey, that's something I wanted to ask about. The script calls for me to ride. Do I have to?
Well, you certainly can't go charging up to Culpeper Plantation in a Jeep.
Well, what about the buggy?
It looks like I'm going to be spending some time with General Grant. Do you mind sitting in for the sergeant?
Not at all.
Thank you. I'm expecting some more people.
Any Southern belles?
Dozens of them. You and Sergeant O'Hara. Here, take this with you. Hold it, General. You'd better get used to smoking these cigars they gave you.
Cigars make me dizzy.
You don't smoke cigars and you don't ride. Do you drink?
Only very dry martinis.
Will you tell me something? Who cast you for this part?
Cousin Abe.
You're the producer's cousin?
That's right.
Well, I'm being paid to come up with a reasonable facsimile of General Grant and his men, so between now and Monday morning, you're going to smoke a lot of cigars and ride a lot of horses. Do you ride, Colonel?
Yes, sir. I've been riding all my life.
Who cast you?
My revered father-in-law, sir.
You're married to Abe's daughter?
I have that great honor.
You know, the South may win this time.
Jethro was right. It's a Yankee soldier. What do we do? You hang back and watch. I'll soften him up. Hello there, soldier boy.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you come in.
That's the way I work, Sonny.
If you're here to see Colonel Blake, it'll be a few minutes. He's inside talking to General Grant and his men.
Grant?
Yeah, they're getting ready for the big battle on Monday. Say, haven't I seen you at Columbia?
No. She's never been to Columbia, Tennessee in her whole life.
Columbia, Tennessee?
She's a northern girl. She comes from Boston.
Well, how do you do?
Howdy. That's Boston talk. She lives on Bacon Hill. Say, I saw a soda pop machine down the hall. Why don't you two Yankees go down there and have a drink?
Would you answer the telephone?
Oh, sure I will.
If the Colonel asks for me, you tell him I'll be right back.
Take your time, Sonny. It can't be Ulysses S. Grant. He couldn't live this long, especially the way he hit the bottle.
I'm so dizzy I'll never be able to get on that horse.
It's him.
Come on, let's go over this battle plan. Now, concentrate on this map. Here's the Culpeper Plantation.
I don't know how to read a map. Besides, I can hardly stand up.
That's how he lost Richmond.
Now, the first attack on the Confederate position will come at dawn on Monday.
Dawn? Well, I'm having a party Sunday night. I can lead the attack, sir. I make a dashing figure on a horse.
Listen, Colonel Chitlin, with that accent of yours, we're going to put you in a Confederate uniform.
Same old bunch of Yankees, still fighting dirty.
Well, why can't we have the attack Tuesday morning?
Because my orders are Monday.
Well, I'm going to get in touch with Abe.
Abe! Oh, you're back. Come on, Ellie.
When can I see you again?
After the war. Jen!
Granny, where you been and where'd you get my gun?
General Grant's headquarters.
What?
General Ulysses S. Grant is alive and planning to attack the Culpepper's plantation like dawn on Monday.
I think you've had enough of that.
Don't knock it, Jed. You ought to see what it's done for Grant.
Where are you going?
I'm going to warn the Culpeppers that Grant is coming.
You'd have to be pretty near 150 years old. This is the wildest thing I ever heard.
That ain't nothing. Wait till you hear who else is alive. Old Abe himself. Dad, a mountain lion is at Jethro. Didn't leave nothing but his hat. A mountain lion is at Jethro.
Now, Granny, if you was to tell me that Jethro had a mountain lion.
I tell you it's true. I sent Jethro to the root cellar, and when he didn't come back, I went to see what was keeping him. And there stood a great big mountain lion licking his chops. He had my baby boy right out from under his hat.
Is the truck gone?
Mountain lions don't eat trucks. They is flesh eaters.
I know that, but I figured if the truck was gone, that might tell us what happened to Jethro.
I told you what happened. He was ate by a mountain lion in the root cellar. Now, you gonna get your gun and shoot him before he eats the rest of the family?
Granny, it's kind of dark in that root cellar. What you seen might not have been a mountain lion at all.
I tell you, I seen him. There's a wild varmint in the root cellar.
We've been out here in Beverly Hills for going on to 8 years now, and the wildest thing we've seen yet is that movie star lives down the street.
Which one?
The one with the long blonde hair, wears them wild clothes and jewelry, walks with a wiggle. You know the fella.
I tell you, there's a mountain lion in my root cellar. Now, are you gonna shoot him or do I have to?
Quick as I have this cereal, I'll take a look.
How can you sit there eating cereal at a time like this?
It ain't easy.
My eyes. Fireman's eating your kinfolks and... Jed,
Now what?
where's Ellie? Maybe the mountain lion ate her too.
I sent Ellie out to get the morning mail. Now, will you sit down and get a hold of yourself?
Here's the mail, Pa.
Oh, fine, Ellie. Now, run fetch your pa's gun. He's gonna shoot that mountain lion in the root cellar.
Giant gonna shoot Herman.
Herman?
Well, I got him yesterday at the animal farm. He's my new pet.
Some pet. He ate your cousin Jethro.
Herman wouldn't do that.
Well, he did, and your pa's fixing to shoot him.
Please don't, Pa.
Do what you have to do, kid. Kinfolks comes ahead of varmints.
Giant gonna do it, are you, Pa?
Looks like the only thing I ain't gonna do for sure is eat this cereal.
Oh, well, I'll give it to Herman. He just loves it. Herman, come get your breakfast.
You bring no man-eating beast in here.
There ain't no man-eating beast, Granny. See, he's just as tame as a kitten.
You get that vicious killer out of my kitchen.
Come on, Herman, with this scoop.
You see, Jed? I told you I seen a man-eating beast.
Yep. Now, if you'll fetch me another bowl, you'll see a man eating cereal. Looks like somebody has sent us the latest copy of the Silver Dollar City News.
Who was it?
Don't say. Well, doggy. Guess who's getting married?
Who?
Alverna Bradshaw's daughter.
Big Mouth Bradshaw?
Yep.
Are you telling me that the homeliest girl in the hills has got herself a fella?
Seems that way.
I don't believe it.
Read it for yourself.
Here it is, in black and white.
Yep.
Alverna's daughter He's getting married.
Yep.
I don't believe it.
Afraid it's true, Granny.
You realize what this means?
I'm afraid it means I ain't gonna eat this cereal.
We've got to get Ellie Mae married right away.
Why?
Because Big Mouth Bradshaw is 2 days younger than Ellie. And if she gets married before your daughter, you're going to be disgraced.
No, I won't.
Well, think of Ellie. She'll die of shame.
Oh, I won't bother Ellie.
Think about Jethro. Why, he's a boy with a lot of pride. He's liable to leave home.
Not as long as we got victuals here.
Jed, this is no joking matter. We've got to take Ellie back to the hills and get her married right away. There's no time to lose.
Why the hills?
'Cause that's where the men are the marrying kind.
Could we talk about this after I have my breakfast? I'm powerful hungry.
No, Jed. We've got to settle this matter right now. There's no time to lose.
Well, all right. You go next door and ask Mr. Drysdale, would he keep an eye on the place if we go back?
Good idea.
Granny, how about some bills? Oh, thank you, Uncle Jed.
Where you been, Jethro?
Into college.
Yeah, college, huh? Good for you. How long you been going?
This is my first day. See, I fell in with this here college crowd. They made me realize how much I've been missing.
Do tell.
Oh, yeah. See, even though I graduated 6th grade, there's still more I can learn.
I'm proud of you, boy.
Thanks, Uncle Jed. It's fun, too. Real nice bunch of fellas. And talk about smart.
Any of them fellas unmarried?
All of them, as far as I know.
Well, you reckon you could fetch home one of them college fellas, introduce them to your cousin Ellie?
Fetch home a whole bunch of them. Then you can take her pick.
Well, it'll be just dandy. Well, look at that. Just enough cereal left for one more bowl.
Thank you, Uncle Jed. When you're hungry, ain't nothing like a bowl of cereal.
Ain't nothing like it as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, good morning, Granny.
Morning, Miss Jane. Is Mr. Drysdale home?
Yes, I'm here to drive him to the bank.
I want to ask him a favor.
Well, you picked a good time. He should be finishing his morning coffee just about now.
Chauncey, Melvin Drysdale here. Yes. What's the gold market doing there in London today? Mm-hmm. All right, buy me $5 million in bullion. Right. Now listen, Chauncey. Tell Onassis I'm prepared to invest $50 million in that Greek shipping deal. And tell that Dutch oil syndicate I'm ready with the $30 million they need. Right. Get back to me at the office. Okay?
Chief.
Yes, come in.
Excuse me, Chief. Granny's here, and she'd like to ask you a favor.
What is it?
Well, they're going on a trip, and they'd like you to keep an eye on the house and take care of Ellie's critters.
The answer is no. I am a bank president, not a caretaker. An international financier, not a zookeeper. And Granny's going to be told that right now. Go tell her.
Me? Well, why don't you tell her?
Miss Hathaway, I just told you, I am an international financier. I just invested $85 million by long-distance telephone. And I can't afford to argue with those hillbillies.
Why not?
Because it's their $85 million.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale. Did Miss Jane tell you the news?
She's going on a little trip. Palm Springs, Lake Arrowhead?
No, we's going to God's country.
Fort Knox?
No, we's going back home to the hills
What for?
to get Ellie Mae a husband.
Granny, there's plenty of eligible men right here.
Now, don't start that again. You've been yelling suey for the last 7 years, and you ain't got a hog to the trough yet. Now, we'll be leaving as soon as the truck is loaded, so you fetch our money over to us.
All of it?
Well, Ellie has got to have a dowry.
Granny, you don't want to go back to the hills with $85 million.
It's better than nothing.
Now, steady, Chief.
Do you realize if they take their money out of my bank, I'm ruined?
We'll think of a plan. Maybe
There's
we
no time to think or plan. This calls for action. Now.
Chief! What are you going to do?
I'm going to stab all 4 of them.
No!
Let go of me. They're not driving back to the hills.
Chief, come to your senses. You can't use that on the Clampetts.
I don't intend to. I'm going to puncture the tires on that truck. They'll have to get some out of a catalog. It'll take 3 weeks to get new ones.
Ellie.
Your yard, pal. Brand new box of cereal.
Well, thank you, darling. Now, you run right upstairs and put on your very prettiest dress because Jethro is bringing home a whole bunch of nice young college fellas for you to meet.
Oh, yes, sir, pal.
Here, Granny.
Are you still eating cereal?
It looks like it.
Well, make that your last bowl. Then let's get packed and loaded and on the road.
Oh, Granny, we might not have to go back to the hill.
What you mean?
Well, Jethro is fetching over a whole covey of nice young college fellas for Ellie to look over.
Jed, you have been beating these Beverly Hills bushes for 7 years. And what have you got to show for it? A bunch of beat-up bushes and an old-maid daughter.
Well, Emmy's still young.
Jed, face up to it. That girl is gonna be 20.
Well, she'll be just as old back in the hills.
Yeah, but back there, that's as old as she can get.
20?
When them hill boys runs out of fingers and toes, they is through counting.
Granny, I think we ought to keep an open mind about this.
Come on, Jed. Let's pack up and get back to the hills.
At least let Ellie meet the boys. She might cotton to one of them.
All right. I've got a completely open mind about it. Of course, let's have Ellie Mae meet the college boys.
Good.
And as quick as she's met them, let's head for the hills.
Get out of here. Come on now.
Your 5th breakfast. What's got into you?
Well, it ain't cereal, that's for sure.
You ain't gonna have room for lunch.
Yes, I am, I swear.
No, I'm gonna give this to Ellie's mountain lion.
Give him this, too. Let him fix his own from now on.
Oh, hi, Jed. That's home some college boys.
Oh, fine, fine. Take him in the parlor. I'll tell Ellie.
Okay. Y'all come on in.
Wow, this is a groovy place.
All right.
Jethro. He's his college student?
Yes, sir. Fetched him right off the campus. Oh, this here's my Uncle Jed.
Howdy.
Hey, man. How are you?
Oh. This here is Mitch. He'd been to 12 colleges.
Ah, it's a dandy record. What all did you study?
Study?
They don't study. They protest.
Well, what do they protest?
Everything. You name it, they protested. They march up and down in front of the college holding signs.
Well, how about you? Ain't you learning nothing?
Oh, yeah. I'm carrying 3 subjects.
Oh, good, good. What are they?
Down with the dean, down with the faculty, and down with the regents.
You walk around carrying signs, too, huh?
Heck yeah. That's what college is all about.
Well, don't you go inside at all?
Starting tomorrow, I do. They's gonna let me bust down the dean's door and tie him up.
Why are you going to do that?
Because I'm part of the academic revolution.
I'm fighting for intellectual freedom. I'm throwing off the shackles of the economic power structure and putting down you corporate entities and conglomerates. I have done solved my identity problem. I know where I'm going and who I am. I'm free to make up my own mind and do my own thing.
And what is that?
They ain't told me yet.
I got a couple of things to tell you.
Jed!
Yeah, Granny?
Is them fine young college students you was bragging on here yet?
Stay where you are. I'll be right there.
Man, is that the chick you were telling me about?
Oh, yeah. That's my cousin Ellie. Hi, Ellie. I'd like you to meet these three guys.
Two guys. I'm a girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you want to swing?
Cool.
Movie, let's split.
At last, a meaningful relationship.
Hey, would you like to go to college?
Well, yes, sir, I reckon so.
Come on, if we hurry, we can get there in time for the 12 o'clock cafeteria break.
Really?
Yeah, 12 o'clock, we're gonna break the cafeteria.
Hey, wait for me. I'll help you break it, but let's eat first.
You see? We're too late. They're gone. I told you you're to blame for this.
Calm down. They couldn't possibly have packed and loaded.
Do you see the truck? No, it's gone. Oh, I knew I should have slashed those tires. Why'd you take that knife away from me?
Because you were acting irrationally.
Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, Granny, you're still here.
Put me down, Mr. Drysdale. What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I love you.
He was afraid you'd gone back to the hills to find the family beauty a husband.
I ain't looking for no husband. Now put me down. It's Ellie me we're wanting to find a husband for. Did you fetch over the money?
Money?
Our 85 million. Where is it?
What? You can't withdraw any money today. You see, the bank is closed.
Well, you better come into the kitchen and explain that to Jed.
Chief, the bank is not closed.
If they withdraw 85 million, it will be.
Not another bowl of cereal.
That's right. Not another bowl of cereal.
All right, Herman, come and get it.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, what's this ugly rumor about your going back to the hills?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it ugly.
And we've taken our money with us.
That's the ugly part.
Why?
Oh, I mean, there's a terrible risk involved. You might be held up and robbed.
You think so?
Well, only this morning, Miss Hathaway disarmed a desperate man right here in this neighborhood.
Really?
Yes. Threw him down, took his knife away from him as he was headed for your house.
Quite true. Terrible man. The moment his weapon was gone, he turned into a sniveling, whimpering cur.
You must be plumb tuckered, Miss Jane. Sit down.
Well, I did work up a bit of an appetite. Do you mind if I have a bowl of cereal?
Help yourself, and lots of luck.
I'll get you a bowl, Miss Jane. I'm glad to see somebody else getting some cereal. Jed has been stuffing himself all morning.
Mr. Clampett, let's sit down and talk this over.
Well, now, I'm pretty well set on going back home, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, do you want that beautiful, sweet daughter of yours to marry some barefoot, ragged, slovenly, unwashed clod?
No, sir. That's the reason I want to go home. I want to get her away from them college boys.
College boys?
Yes, ma'am. Jethro is going to college, and he fetched home some boys to meet Ellie, but there wasn't a keeper in the bunch.
I didn't think Jethro could qualify for college.
Oh, yeah. He can march and protest with the best of them. Carries them signs higher than anybody.
Mr. Clampett, please stay here. There's no guarantee that you'll find a husband for Ellie back in the hills.
Ah! If Big Mouth Bradshaw can get a man, Ellie can get a dozen of them.
I kind of think we ought to give it a try. There's some mighty fine boys back around Bug Tussle, Silver Dollar City.
And besides, we's lonesome for the hills.
Mighty pretty back there this time of the year, leaves turning.
Well, you'll come back right away, won't you?
I kind of like to do a little trout fishing with old Jim Owen. He knows where them big rascals hide out.
And you can go hunting and get me a brace of wild turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
The best hunting is right after the first snowfall.
Oh, Jed, let's stay for a white Christmas.
Christmas?
You know, my favorite time of year back home is when the dogwood blooms in the spring.
Spring?
It's hard to beat summer in them cool woods.
Summer? That makes a whole year.
That's right. Time sure flies in the hills.
Yeah, a year would only tease us. Let's just stay there.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul. I'm a college girl now.
Where have you been?
Been in a protest march out to college.
Don't draft me? Where did you get that?
Well, I didn't have a sign to carry, so I took this away from a fella.
What happened to your pretty dress?
Well, I traded it for these groovy threads that I got at the Campbell Slop Shop.
Slop shop?
I think she means swap shop.
Look again. She was right. Come with me.
Where are we going?
Back home to the hills. You are gonna beat Big Mount Bradshaw to the altar.
Hey, soul cousin. Did Ellie tell you about the raid on the college cafeteria? Wiped them out. Ain't got a bit of food left.
Well, it sounds like a mob. How many were there?
Just me. Uncle Jed, baby, that college life is a gas. I mean, that's where it's happening.
Don't sound like you're happening to learn much.
Not true, old-timer. We's learning the 3 R's. Rioting, raiding, and ransacking. Poor old cat just don't dig. He's so far out, it's pitiful. I mean, come on, Dad. Like, get with it. Swing a little, Pops. Lay some skin on me.
You know, I might just do that.
Bless his sweet old heart. Marches to a different drummer. I ain't blaming you old folks. It's the generation gap. But I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm tuned in, turned on, and toned up.
Well, tune out, turn off, and pack up. We're going home.
Is he kidding? I ain't going back to the hills. I'm a college man.
Well, don't they have schools?
Yeah, but back there, they make you come inside and study. I'm gonna stay right here where I got intellectual freedom.
You're absolutely right, Jethro. You don't want to be a college dropout.
I sure don't. College is fun. There's lots of fellas and lots of girls. And quick as I can learn to tell them apart, it's gonna be a lot more fun.
Oh, there you are, boy. Let's get these bags on the truck.
Yeah, now you hurry and pack while I put up some lunch for the road.
I ain't going, Granny.
What did you say?
I ain't going back to the hills. I want to stay right here and pursue my education.
Well, gee whiz, Jethro. If you don't drive the truck, they can't none of us go.
What's this? Not going back to the hills? Oh, what a shame. Miss Hardaway, let's give the Clampets a hand. Get these bags upstairs and unpacked.
Jethro, you giving this any thought?
Yes, sir. Talked the whole thing over with Mr. Drysdale. I'm gonna be a college graduate, just like him, and hold down a white-collar job.
Is that so?
Yes, sir. I don't aim to work with my hands, plowing fields and busting stumps. I'm gonna use my head.
You go along with us, do you, Mr. Drysdale?
Mr. Clampett, honesty demands that I reply in the affirmative. This fine boy has a great potential. I'm proud of him. I believe in him. Oh, I only wish I had a boy just like him.
You got him.
What?
We're gonna leave this fine boy, great potential, with you. Miss Jane, could you drive us to the airport and get us on a plane to home?
Yes, I guess
Come on,
so.
Granny, Ellie Mae, let's go.
Stop! Just a minute! I didn't mean anything. Mr. Drysdale, let him go. Or can I call you Dad?
Nuts.
Okay, come on, Nuts. You can fix victuals for me and the critters whilst we talk about my great potential.
Be sure to join us next week when the Clampets arrive in the hills and Granny tangles with Elverna Bradshaw.
Are you gonna come down here, or do I have to come up and get you, you sniveling polecat?
That did it, Granny. Go get her.
Okay, busted foot Bradshaw, here I come. She's crazy, she'll kill me. All right, get it, Moose.
Miss Walsh.
Thank you. I have some papers for Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, I guess he's still up at the Clampets. They've gone back to the hills, and the chief foolishly agreed to take care of the house, Jethro, and the critters.
And the what?
Critters. That's hill talk for animals. Oh, hello, Chief. How's everything up the mansion?
Mansion? You mean menagerie? This place makes the zoo look like a... Just gave you a stack of pancakes, you glutton.
Sounds like Jethro.
No, that's the bear.
You're cooking pancakes for the bear?
I'm cooking pancakes for everybody. I figure that's one thing they'll all like. You see, with syrup... Correction. One of them doesn't like pancakes. You throw another pancake at me and you don't get to watch television tonight.
Jethro threw a pancake at you?
No, that was the ape. Listen, Miss Hathaway, get me on a plane to the hills right away. I've got to bring the Clampets back.
Notice folks is commencing to gather for the fair?
Yeah. Where's Ellie Mae?
I don't know. Why?
Well, he's having a cake baking contest for all the single girls, and the single fellas is going to judge it. I gotta find Ellie Mae.
But, Jed, she's such a miserable cook.
I know. I gotta make sure she don't enter.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning, Ellie.
Done entered 3 contests already this morning.
Was, one of them cake baking?
Oh, no, sir, Paul. I entered that one yesterday.
Oh, Ellie, honey, there's gonna be lots of nice-looking young fellas in town for the fair. You don't want to spend the day in that hot kitchen baking a cake.
Oh, I baked it last night when it was cool. All I gotta do now is decorate.
What other contests did you enter, Ellie Mae?
Oh, basket weaving and post hole digging and barn raising.
Jed, what are we gonna do about that cake?
Well, them other contests might help us. We could hide it in our basket, bury it in the post hole, and raise a barn over it.
Elverna Bradshaw, I thought I run you out of town.
Granny, morning, Elverna. It's a mighty fetching outfit you're wearing.
Thank you. I made this hat myself.
Is that a hat? I thought your hair was on fire.
Mr. Kellum.
Yes, Mom?
I'm looking for a suitable place to hold my daughter's wedding reception.
Oh, yes, I heard your daughter's getting married. Congratulations.
Thank you. I understand your dining room might be available?
Yes, ma'am, and it is a dandy. It'll accommodate 12 sitting at the table, or 20 if they each standing. What they call buffet style.
Now, we'll talk about the decorations and the menu later, but I would like some white doves.
Oh, they may be hard to find. Would you settle for roast turkey?
Mr. Kellums, I meant live white doves to sit around billing and cooing.
Oh, well, if it's live birds you want, let me get you some purple martin. They not only bill and coo, but they'll keep down the bugs.
Mr. Kellums, can I borrow your broom? Oh, howdy, Miss Bradshaw.
Ellie Mae?
I dropped my cake on the kitchen table, and it busted into little pieces.
That's a shame, Ellie. Well, I guess that'll keep you out of the cake baking contest.
Oh, no, sir. The cake's fine. It's the table I gotta sweep up.
Oh, sweet girl. Too bad she's such an atrocious cook. Now, my daughter is a wizard in the kitchen, besides being divinely attractive.
Big mouth attractive. Why, that girl is so homely. If she dropped her handkerchief in a Boy Scout camp, she'd have to pick it up herself.
Victoria Rose is the belle of this county. Believe me, a lot of men are going to be miserable when she gets married.
Really? How many men is she marrying?
Oh, you little prune face.
Look who's calling me a prune face. Why, you got so many wrinkles, your face could hold a 5-day rain.
Ladies, listen.
Prune face.
I think the fair's about to begin, and y'all don't want to miss the opening square dance.
That's true. I think I'll stroll over to the pavilion.
Too bad Ellie took the broom. You could ride.
I'm not going to stay in here and be insulted.
Well, if you'd rather go outside and be insulted, let's go.
You ain't going no place but upstairs.
Oh, Jed, I want to watch the square dance.
You can watch it from the porch up there. Now scoot.
But, Jed, I won't be able to see.
Granny, you got eyes like a hawk.
And a face to match.
Oh, Alfred, you're going to get yours.
Granny sure left to Terry and Dale Verna, don't you? Yep. Been going on for years. I keep hoping Granny will quit, but she's a hard dog to keep under the porch.
Oh, you, Granny.
What you want?
So sorry you've been exiled to the crow's nest. Look for me on the pavilion. I'll be with the mayor. You can't miss me in this hat. Oh, you! Mayor Heller! I'll be right there.
You're right, Alverna. I couldn't miss you.
Don't pray for this, you miserable little harpy.
We's gonna have a dandy view from up here.
We sure enough are.
Look, yonder goes Alverna Bradshaw. But she's took off her fancy hat.
How about that?
I figure she want to wear that thing, make a big splash.
Oh, she did, Jed. She made a whopper of a splash.
Look, they've already started the square dance. The fair's about to commence.
Now whirl away for the hat, say J and L, man left for the corner bank. Get your girl in comedy. Comedy goes 2 by 2 and get along. That's what you do. Couple one, the down, swing, go round and around with a pretty little thing. Go down, center and divide the ring and a couple of ride. Let never do, but just go, sail on, things. Get tired, but like things, and one like more.
Hi, doggies. Nobody calls a square dance like old L.D. Keller.
The bride and keep bring it over the night. The little lady home dance, everybody swinging, everybody dance. Now step like that, shoot the reach the finger, then just slide, shoot the step like that, shoot that knee, step like that,
And nobody plays it like Slim Wilson and the Tall Timber Boys.
Them promenaders dances is pretty good, too.
All right, they swing out, bunch man, turn that dog around again. Hey, to the left, like a bucking tree, the wind gets into the sea, you'll say, pop, more, you can get up here, there, by there, and see them sing. Well, let's get on the right, you go, below home, you come to go. Now you get home, you swing, everybody swing and whirl around, pretty little girl. Circulate, go round the world, you circulate. Now here we go. And the hand of folks, you don't be slow, the ladies bow. And the ditch fender, hold on tight, or hold that fender, come on, run, hold them high. Swing on, everybody dance.
Well, now the fair is officially open.
Come on, Ellie. Let's go pick you out a husband.
Wait a minute, Granny. Hold it. Hold it, Granny.
It's only me, Miss Hathaway. Come in.
What is the idea of the gorilla suit?
The law of the jungle, the survival of the fittest.
What do you mean?
I'm looking after a bear, a mountain lion, a chimpanzee, and other assorted wild animals. They fight over the food. If I don't scare them, I don't eat.
Well, that should certainly intimidate the fiercest beast.
Well, there's one a dozen, Faze. Oh, you've never heard such vicious snarling and growling. No other animal will go near the food until it's finished feeding.
What is it?
It's a Jethro, that's what it is. Talk about king of the beast. Next to that kid, a lion's a pussycat. Did you reach the Clamperts back in the hills?
Yes, I just spoke to Granny at the hotel back in Silver Dollar City.
What's the news?
Well, I have good news and bad news. Granny says they're not coming back. They're going to stay there and get Ellie Mae a husband. And after she's married and settled down, the whole family might stay there.
Oh, boy. Okay, now let's hear the good news.
That was it.
That was the good news?
Wait till you hear the bad.
Forget it. You couldn't possibly top what you just said.
Granny wants you to send them their $85 million.
You did it.
Did you ever see so many people in all your born days?
I don't think I have, Shorty. I lost Ellie and Granny in the crowd.
I declare everybody in the whole county's here. Must be at least 200 or 300 people.
Say, Shorty, while Ellie's gone, I'd like to snatch that cake of hers and get shit of it.
Oh, you're too late, Jed. She rolled that cake out of here half an hour ago.
Rolled it out?
Well, it stood pretty near the size of a wagon wheel.
Now, why in the world would you...
Well, I got a big oven back there, and I reckon maybe she figured to win on size alone.
Knowing Ellie's cakes, that thing must have weighed a ton.
It bowed the floor, mine. But it was sure pretty, Jed. Decorated so fancy with her name rolled across the top and ice and Ellie Mae Clampett.
There goes any chance of denying who done it.
Don't you worry, Jed. As pretty as Ellie is, there'll be some young fella bid on that cake.
Just so you don't bite on it. I wonder where Granny and Ellie went.
Oh, I recollect Ellie saying she'd entered basket weaving. Maybe they's there.
Well, I declare, that is the most beautiful basket weaving I ever did see. Tell me, beautiful young stranger, are you married? No, ma'am. Don't tell me that a girl with your talent and the face and figure of an angel is single. Yes, ma'am. I can't believe it. Why, the single fellas around here must be weak-eyed. Will you weak-eyed single fellas come up front here where you can see? Would you ladies please step aside so the single fellas can get up here? Thank you, thank you. Now, tell me, beautiful, blonde, young, single lady, where you from?
Pine Bluff.
I was talking to this beautiful, blonde, young, single lady that's weaving this basket. Where you from, darling?
Beverly Hills, California.
A movie star. I thought I seen a striking resemblance to Mary Pickford. Tell me, beautiful, blonde, young, single lady, what's your name?
Ellie Mae Clampett.
And where are you staying?
At the Silver Dollar City Hotel.
Did you hear that, you single fellas? This beautiful, blonde, young, unwed stranger is staying right here amidst you.
Stranger? What are you trying to pull? Ho, ho, ho! You know very well that this girl is your bride.
Come on, stranger, let's get out of here.
Excuse me, Sheriff. Do you see anything of Granny and Ellie Mae?
Yeah, Jed. Last I seen them, they was headed for the candle maker's shop.
Thank you. See you later.
Land's sake, look at that candle. Who is that lovely, talented girl?
I don't know.
Who are you, lovely, talented girl?
My name is Ellie Mae.
Well, Ellie Mae, you sure do make a fine candle.
Well, thank you, Mae.
I bet you nobody here has ever seen anything shaped as good as that. And the candle ain't bad neither. I see you got a sense of humor.
Yes, ma'am.
You got a wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, step to the rear or you're going to get splashed with hot wax.
No, I won't.
You want to bet? When did you learn to make candles, darling?
When I was 10 years old.
Did you hear that? She's only been making candles for 4 years. Oh, I bet your husband is proud of you.
Well, I ain't married.
Did you hear that, folks? This beautiful, talented, teenage, candle-making love goddess ain't married. I bet you single men is astonished. Will you single men raise your hands and show your astonishment. Let them single astonished young men step forward while I ask this beautiful, talented, teenage candle-making love goddess a few questions. What is your full name, child?
It's Ellie Mae Clampett.
Don't tell me you're the daughter of Jed Clampett.
Yes, ma'am.
The multi-millionaire.
Yes, ma'am.
The man who's gonna put all of his $85 million into his daughter's dowry.
Well, I don't know. Did you say that, Paul?
He ain't here, is he?
Right behind you.
Now, folks, it's easy to see why this girl is so beautiful. This is her handsome Paul. Not only is he handsome, he's the kindest, sweetest, most even-tempered, understanding, forgiving man that ever lived. He's a lovely man, gentle and forgiving, especially to old ladies. This is the handsome millionaire father of the beautiful blonde single teenage love goddess over in the candle shop.
Kid, did something happen, Granny? Not yet, but it's going to. She don't stop showing Ellie Mae around this fair like she was some kind of a pet hog.
You hear that, Shorty? He called his own lovely daughter a hog.
Granny.
No wonder I have to work so hard to get the poor girl a husband.
Granny, I'm just about of a mind to take you upstairs and lock you in your room till the fair is over.
Oh, please, Jed. You wouldn't do that to poor old Chick Allen.
Chick Allen? What's he got to do with it?
Well, I promised to help him sell his mountain medicine. You know, like his yarbs and his roots and his berries and such.
You did?
And Chick depends on that for his living. And my professional endorsement would help him a lot. I'm a doctor, you know.
I sure would like to see you help Chick Allen sell his medicine.
Thank you.
But you promise that's all you'll sell?
On my word of honor, as next of kin to the grandest, noblest human being that ever drawed a breath, Jed Clampett.
Well,
One of nature's noblemen, a walking saint, a legend in his own time.
Granny, that's enough.
Can I get my medical bag and mosey over to Chick's place?
Okay.
Bless you, Jed. You're a prince among men.
You know, Jed, you can't hardly blame Granny for wanting to get Ellie married to head Elverna Bradshaw's daughter.
She hadn't ought to made that bet with Elverna.
Yeah, but she did. And if she loses, Elverna gets to kick her clean up Dewey bald.
That could be kind of humiliating.
And painful. That's 2 miles uphill through rocks and brush. And Granny ain't a young woman. Fact is, she's kind of old and feeble.
Gather around, folks. Gather around for the medicine show. Step right up here, right up this way. Now, seated before you is the famous Indian yarb specialist, Chick Allen, a living testimonial to the health-giving powers of his own potions and elixirs. Now, nobody knows how old this man is, but he has been gathering berries and roots and yarbs in these hills for hundreds of years. Now, you might think that a man this old couldn't budge out of that chair, but you are wrong. Chick is gonna give us a dance, accompanied on the fiddle by his grandson. Right this way, old-timer. Get your grandson up. That's that feller, that's it. All right, let's go. take his grandpappy's medicine. Now, as you can see, Chick makes potions and elixirs for man or beast. And also, yarbs of joy, Indian salve, blood purifiers, and snake oil. But today, we are going to tell you about a new product, Chick Allen's Magic Mud Pack. Now, to demonstrate the beautifying properties of this miraculous mud, I'm going to have to ask for a volunteer from the audience. Would some lady please step up here? Sorry, madam. We ain't got that much mud. How about another volunteer? How about you, lady?
Me, ma'am?
Yeah. Step up here, stranger. Step right here. The magic mud, Chick, please. Now, I'm going to apply this magic mud to the face of... I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Why, this face can't be improved. Never in my 70 years of doctorate have I seen such a beautiful complexion as I see on the face of this magnificent creature. What is your name, magnificent creature?
Ellie Mae Clampett?
Well, congratulations, Mrs. Clampett.
Well, it ain't Mrs. It's Miss.
Did you red-blooded bachelors hear that? This beautiful, gorgeous young thing with the perfect features and figure to match ain't married.
So, you're at it again. Folks, I'm Elberna Bradshaw.
Oh, bless you, madam. Another volunteer.
And I want to tell you...
And this one needs all the help he can get.
You know...
Oh, friends, be sure to watch next week when Jethro and I join the rest of the Clampetts back in the hills. And I venture into the forest on a bird-watching expedition, where I find a man for Ellie Mae. And what a man.
In the woods! I saw him just right for Ellie. An Adonis, a Hercules, and Apollo.
Oh, please, Miss Jane, she's got enough critters now.
No. You don't understand. He was cutting down a tree near the lake.
You don't need another beaver.
I am talking about a man.
That she needs.
He agreed to come to town as soon as... There he is. It's the beginning of a beautiful romance, friends.
I'm gonna.
You ain't either. I am.
You ain't.
I am.
You ain't.
Hold on, Jethro, you tell me.
Well, I forgot.
There's the king coming to stay at the Drysdale's house. King Alexander.
Yeah, now I remember. Let me tell him.
Well, I'm telling him.
You ain't.
I ain't.
Hold on now, Jethro, you tell me.
Well, it's a foreign-sounding name.
King Alexander of Sylvania.
Real live king, huh? No wonder they had so many folks over there fixing and cleaning.
Yeah, Miss Drysdale even hired us.
To do what?
Stay away.
Take that back to her and...
Hey, now, wait a minute, Uncle Jed. We can make a lot of money if you'll just play along.
What you mean?
Well, she said she'd double this if we could keep you and Granny out of sight, too.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning. Get someone to sit in for you. I want you to drive me to the yacht harbor. I'm meeting Margaret down there to pick up King Alexander.
How exciting! And you look so handsome. What is that medallion you're wearing?
Oh, that's Margaret's idea. She thought when I met the king I should be wearing a decoration.
It's very impressive. Where did she get it?
From my den. It's an ashtray. Watch it, Miss Hathaway. I'm up to here with this nobility business, and I haven't even met the royal jerk yet.
Chief, what about Ellie Mae? Your wife says King Alexander is one of the world's most eligible bachelors. Worldly, handsome, witty, charming.
Look, those things don't count when we're talking about a lifetime companion for my sweet little Ellie.
Well, naturally, he'd need other important qualities to make him a good husband.
Right, and he doesn't have them.
No?
Not a nickel.
That's not what I meant. But why do you say that?
Because I've checked every financial rating book here, and he isn't even listed.
Well, he probably has a secret Swiss bank account. Alexander is the last of the big-time monarchs, always at one resort or another, on a yacht somewhere.
Really?
Yes, I've read that he's worth billions.
Billions? Well, maybe he's a man of good character after all.
Good character or good credit?
There's a difference. Oh, Miss Hathaway, what if the king and Ellie Mae were to fall in love and there was a merger?
I believe you mean marriage.
Yes, we've got to introduce them right away.
But Chief, it will take time to teach Ellie enough protocol even to meet the king.
Sir Milburn Drysdale, banker to the Royal Majesties. Oh, with the king's billions and the Clampett's billions in my bank, I can wheel and deal with the big money boys, the Rockefellers, Baron Rothschild, Bing Crosby.
Mr. Drysdale?
Hello, Mr. Clampett.
Howdy, Miss Jane. I'm sorry to bother you, but it's about that king that's coming to visit you.
Not me, you. Me? And your family. I told him all about the Clampetts, and he wants to meet you right away.
Chief!
Well, doggy, think of that. Bunch of old sorghum lappers like us rubbing elbows with a real live king.
Oh, Chief!
Something wrong, Miss Jane?
Oh, she's just a little upset because we had planned to surprise you with him.
Oh, well, I reckon that explains the money.
Money?
Yeah, your missus wanted to pay the young'uns to stay away from your house whilst the king was there. I reckon she didn't want them to find out about the surprise.
Of course. And Big Mouth Milburn put his foot in it.
Both feet, and it's too late to pull them out.
Well, we'll have to be leaving to pick up the king. Now, you go home, and I'll have His Highness there in about an hour, and have Ellie in her nicest dress.
Oh, we'll be ready. I see you're all slicked up to meet him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's mighty handsome.
Thank you.
I don't know when I've seen a prettier ashtray. Don't let His Highness put on the feed bag before he comes to the house. Granny has always said that her hog jowls is fit for a king, and now she can prove it.
No more. Telephone call for His Royal Highness King Alexander of Sabalia.
Put the call in here. It's for you, Alex. Yes? Oh, thank you. My new host, Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale, just Robin.
Alex, why don't you stop being an international freeloader? If you'd settle down and apply yourself, you could be a first-class busboy.
I am a king, not a steward. I was supposed to be a guest on your yacht.
For the first 2 years, you were a guest. From then on, you pay for your passage.
I offered to pay. I have billions in my Swiss bank account.
You have billions of Sabalian gluttonies.
The currency of my country.
Why, this paper napkin is worth more than a gluttony. Wait a minute. It is a gluttony.
I ran short of napkins. The Drysdale are just here. Please go. Huh? Oh, excuse me. Can I borrow your coat?
All right.
Ah, thank you. I shall remember your kindness when my people return me to the throne of Sabalia.
Oh, stop dreaming, Alex. You're down to sponging off bourgeois Beverly Hills bankers.
Yes, but they will know bourgeois Beverly Hills heiresses. I will marry one, and then, presto, the gluttony will again be worth something.
Well, they're worth something already. They make fabulous napkins.
Your Majesty!
Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale, you may rise.
Help me. We are very honored to have you stay with us at our home, Your Money. Your Majesty.
Yes, Your Grace. We feel a great kinship to the aristocracy. I have very pure bloodlines, and of course Milburn is no stranger to nobility.
Oh, thank you. That's very thoughtful.
With your permission, we will proceed home now, Your Highness.
Now, friend, help me. What about the scene? Miss Hathaway will have to drive me home.
You bring His Highness in the limousine.
Of course, my dear. Excuse me, Your Highness. Speaking man to king, I've heard you're worth billions. Is that true?
Quite true.
Oh, really? Well, I know a family you must meet.
If you like. Oh. Shall we?
His Highness will be here any minute now. Where's the young'un? You ready for him?
Don't go getting excited. What do you mean, am I ready for him?
Well, I mean like special victuals and such. It ain't every day we get to swap howdies with a king.
His Highness is going to get my ordinary company victuals, just like anybody else. Being a king don't make him no different than you or me.
All right, Granny.
You ain't going to catch me carrying on about him. He's just folks as far as I'm concerned. I ain't going to get excited or flustered or discombobulated.
All right, Granny, but I don't think you'd be making too much fuss over him if you was to put on some shoes. Take it easy.
I am. I just don't know what happened to him. I had him on just before I put my corn phone in the oven.
Granny, there's your corn phone.
Oh!
Thought you said you wasn't excited about the king coming.
I ain't.
All right, you ain't. Now, come on, so we can be out front when he comes.
All right. Don't get excited. Just wait till I put on my hat.
I'll take you to my home in a moment, Your Majesty, but first you must meet the Clampets.
It's a nice little place. Is there a Miss Clampett?
Yes, and I think you'll find her most unique. Not what you'd expect from the daughter of a multimillionaire.
Multi? Is that in dollars, drachmas, rubies, what?
Dollars. Oh, they're just one of my smaller accounts at the bank, 70 million or so.
70 million?
Of course, that's nothing compared to your assets.
Fortunately.
I beg pardon?
Fortunately, I have learned the common touch. I am looking forward to meeting Miss Clampett.
Oh, her name is Ellie.
Just pretend he's company from home.
It ain't the same. Jethro says that kings wear gold crowns and fur-trimmed cakes and...
Come in, come in.
Come in, Your Highness. I seem to have lost my money clip.
You see, he ain't nothing to get all boggled over.
You can say that again.
I look outside. May I present His Most Royal August Highness, King Alexander of Sabavia.
Howdy, I'm Jed Clampett.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Clampett?
Oh, no, we ain't married.
Oh, but then you must be the beautiful lady I've heard so much about. Miss Clampett? Ellie, what an exquisite creature you are. Silver-haired beauty. Ellie.
Granny, he thinks you're Ellie. Say something.
Oh.
In good time, Jed. All right. I ain't Ellie.
This here's Granny. Yonder's Ellie Mae.
Beauty begets beauty. The sun has given her light to the moon.
This here is the King of Sabavia, Ellie.
Well, howdy, King.
Excuse me. Call me Bobo, all my friends do.
Okay, King Bobo.
Hey, where is he? Where's the king? Where is His Highness? What'd you do with him?
That's my nephew, Jethro. He got that outfit from a movie studio, special for you.
He looks positively ludicrous.
Well, thank you. He'll be pleased.
I couldn't find your money clip.
But he did.
I missed him. He's gone, and all that's left is his royal napkin holder.
You big dope, this here is His Highness.
Him? Gee, you sure don't look like the king in my big blue book of fairy tales. Anyway, my liege.
Well, let's all go in the parlor and get acquainted.
Hello, Miss Hathaway.
Chief, where have you been? Your wife has been phoning every 5 minutes since I took her home. She thinks you kidnapped King Alexander.
For once, she's right. And he couldn't have cared less about protocol when he saw Ellie Mae.
Well, I hope there's no language problem.
What do you mean? Those two can speak in a universal language.
You mean love?
Money.
Milburn?
Quick, lock the door.
Hello, Uncle Milby.
Doreen, what are you doing in town?
The question to be answered is, what have you done with His Highness?
I asked first, what is she doing here?
She's my niece, and I asked her to fly here and be King Alexander's companion during his visit.
Companion? What about getting married?
You are already married.
No. She and Leonard are no more. Poor little thing. She rushed into it before she was ready.
But I'm not bitter. Maybe my next husband will be Mr. Right. 7's my lucky number.
Leonard was number 7, dear. Now, what have you done with Alexander?
I think he's visiting friends.
I don't know what you're up to, Milburn. Probably something to do with his money. But Doreen is not going to let you out of her sight until she meets the king.
Right, Auntie Meg. I've never married royalty before. Unless you count the Pancake King.
You stay right here, dear. I'm going to see if His Highness is in the basement.
Doreen, why don't you fix your makeup in there? You want to look your best when you meet the king.
Oh, I sure do. How's this for openers?
You always were a shy little thing. What am I going to do? She'll wreck everything.
Howdy, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane. We done invited King Alexander to stay over with us for a while. And I got to get you to tell me where to pick up his suitcases.
Wonderful. Thank you. There.
I know who you are.
You do?
They're looking for you.
Well, you have? She thinks he's king.
My name's Doreen. Can I be one of your friends and call you Bobo?
Shucks, you can call me Gatorface if you want to.
Bobo's okay. Why don't we get out of here and go for a ride?
All right. I see you're dressed for it.
You bet.
Let's go. Ain't nothing that turns a girl's head like a uniform.
Jen? Where's His Highness? I'm all ready to serve him and Ellie a courting dinner. I'm having groundhog goulash.
Granny, I'll try and hold up on the victuals a mite. He just went down to the cement pond to talk to Ellie, and I never seen anybody in such a dither.
Well, after all, he's the first king Ellie ever met.
Well, it ain't her that's in the dither, it's him.
Let me look.
Hold on now. I don't want to go spying on him.
Then you wait here. I will.
You tend your business.
Oh, all right, Jen. It's just that I'm so dad-blamed excited.
I know what you mean. Thinking about Ellie getting married to a king.
I can't. It's enough to think of Ellie getting married at all.
I got to admit, it looks pretty good, though. Him accepting our invite to stay over and sending Jethro out for his bags, you know.
And we know he ain't no fortune hunter. Mr. Drysdale says he's a billionaire. I think I'll just slip out and give Ellie some advice on romance.
Granny, love will find a way. It don't need you riding point.
Ah, Ellie Mae. Look at these hands. These little hands.
They is kind of small for a man.
You are driving me mad.
I am?
Believe me, you are. My sweet. My angel. Ah, Ellie Mae.
Hey, why you always kissing hands? Ain't you never heard of kissing on the lips?
Ellie.
Rory, I hope I didn't hurt you.
Why did you do that?
Well, 'cause Granny said to when it's the first date, and it ain't a good night kiss.
Then it was not your idea.
Heck no, I like kissing. Yes, and disobey Granny.
Then your hand will do nicely.
Would you mind switching? This one's getting awfully chapped.
Well, here we are. This is the Drysdale place.
I thought you owned all sorts of fabulous sports cars.
Oh, no, just this one.
Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, now I'll pick you up right here for our date tonight.
But I thought you were staying here, too.
Oh, heck no. Already live next door.
Oh, that's a break. What are we going to be doing tonight?
Oh, I got some real big plans. We's gonna go frog hunting.
Frog hunting? But you're the king.
Yeah, I am pretty good at it.
Sure aren't what I expected. This truck and frog hunting tonight. And as for your famous wit, I've only seen half of it.
Thank you. I ain't even warmed up yet.
Well, till tonight.
Yeah, and where's some old shoes? Thank you.
Never seen the like yet. Best courting dinner I ever served up. And that king never touched a bite. How can any man pass up groundhog goulash, baked buzzard eggs, and minced crawdads?
Well, maybe he just don't like rich food.
Beginning to wonder about him. How can you trust a fella that don't like fricassee of barn owl?
I wouldn't fault the king, Granny. The way he tells it, all civilians has tetchy stomachs.
What you mean?
Well, he says nobody in his country eats very good. It's all suffering from something called, inflated gluttony.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. I heard you were staying, so I dropped by with your luggage.
I'm sorry that there is so much of it. I am carrying several suitcases full of currency.
Oh, really? Oh, of course, with your kind of money, I suppose a suitcase full here and there doesn't amount to much, huh?
With my kind of money, you are absolutely right.
So if you're staying here, why don't you let me keep it for you at my bank?
Very well. Why don't you open an account for me with the money in these two, huh?
Wonderful. And do you want me to contact your Swiss bank for the balance?
Well, perhaps after Ellie and I are married.
You're getting married?
I am mad about her. Unfortunately, her enthusiasm for the idea does not equal mine.
Well, just how much enthusiasm does she have?
Roughly speaking, none.
She can't refuse you. You're the king of Siberia.
I know. But to use her exact words, she said, that don't cut no mustard with me.
Well, pardon me, Your Highness. Maybe it's because you're not acting enough like a king.
What?
Well, I mean, don't you have a uniform you can impress her with, a crown or a cape or something like that?
Of course, but do you think that will make much difference?
Oh, howdy, my liege. Mr. Drysdale, somebody left these suitcases on the front porch.
They belong to His Highness. Thank you, Jethro.
Well, thank you. That niece of yours sure took a shine to me. I don't know what done it. Either my uniform or my personal poise and magnetism.
Maybe it would help to wear my cape and crown.
Here we are, Miss Hathaway. King Alexander's first deposit.
In cash?
There must be $100,000 in each of these. He's got $3 billion more. Hey, wait a minute. What's this stuff?
It's Siberian currency. King Alexander's a billionaire, all right, in gluttony.
Well, it must be convertible to dollars. Look it up in the exchange rate.
I am. Let's see. Francs, guilders, gluttonies. Yes, they're worth 4 to the dollar.
Well, that's still almost $1 billion.
No, Chief, the rate is 4 tons of gluttonies to the dollar. Wait, there's a footnote. This rate is good only during world paper shortages. The rest of the time, they're absolutely worthless. Chief! Oh, don't take it so hard. You're not out anything.
I may be out the clam, but that royal thief is up there right now sweeping Ellie off her feet, and I told him how.
That's the gluttony.
Maybe we're not too late.
Ellie May, I am a king. I offer you a life of complete luxury. Never again will you wear blue jeans. You will always be at the height of fashion. Only the nobility will speak to you. They will call you Your Majesty. Silence. Servants will wait on you hand and foot. You will drink vintage wine and eat gourmet food. You will do no work. You will sleep till noon every day. You will lack for nothing. Now say you accept.
I'm sorry, King, but it sounds just awful.
You're refusing me?
Yes, Your Majesty.
But I ain't.
What?
I was listening to the whole thing, and boy, that's a lot for me. Oh, hi, Doreen.
There's the king. He's the one that took me for the ride.
He took you for a ride, all right. That's Jethro. There's the real king. Your Majesty.
Doreen, I gotta break our date tonight. I'm going to Siberia to live a life of luxury.
Drysdale, madame, I'm afraid I must say goodbye. The yacht I came in is sailing in 2 hours.
Hot dog, I'll get packed.
But you can't leave. You haven't gotten to know Doreen yet.
Oh, forget it, Aunt Meg. I am going back to Boston. Jethro was bad enough, but this one looks like something out of the big blue book of fairy tales.
Doreen! Oh, forgive her, Your Majesty. She's really lovely and single.
Is she by any chance rich?
Well, she's gotten 7 divorce settlements.
Wait, mademoiselle, wait! I will make you my queen!
Well, this is the last of the court and dinner leftovers.
Ellie, hope you don't feel too bad about the king leaving and chasing back to Boston.
Well, heck no. I never did love him. And when he put on that crown and got so uppity, well, I didn't even like it.
Leastways, he said we could have his suitcases. I can hardly wait to see what's in them.
I already looked, and every one was filled with nothing but paper napkins.
But they're nice ones. Well, tuck them in and let's eat.
Turn it a mite that way, Jethro.
Only one bad thing about putting you still here, Granny.
What's that?
Drysdale place is downwind. The smell of your corn liquor or brewing is going to drive poor Miss Drysdale right out of her mind. She's a drinking woman.
How do you know, Uncle Jay?
Well, he kind of let it slip out. Remember when we was unloading this from the truck?
Yeah?
He says to me, what's that? I said, that's still for making corn liquor. He turned kind of white and trembly, and he says, oh, please don't ever let my wife see that. I reckon she just can't leave the stuff alone.
Some folks like that. Terrible.
Come to think of it, that's how come she's in Boston.
What kind of drinking?
Yeah. Miss Hathaway says she goes all over every place looking to get cured.
Damn city cure's no good. The minute you go to taking it away from them, they want it all the more. I could cure Mrs. Drysdale of her drinking in 2 days.
Oh, Granny?
I just telling her she could have all she wanted. When they find out you don't care if they drink, they don't care to drink.
That sure would be a blessing.
Huh?
Over here, Ellie, now. No more talk about drinking.
Hey, look, everybody. Ella Mae's wearing a dress.
How Mr. Drysdale's in the house to see you.
All right. My, ain't she pretty?
Yeah. But, Ellie, you're showing too much bare hop.
Well, that ain't her fault, Granny. She just got the dress on backwards. Ellie, honey, put it on the other way around.
All right.
Hold it. Hold on. What world kind of a dress is that?
Well, Miss Hathaway says it's a California sundress.
Don't let no son of mine wear it. Daughter neither. Granny, you'd best get her into something decent whilst I talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Mr. Drysdale's office, Miss Hathaway speaking. Boston. That must be Mrs. Drysdale. No, don't put her on. She'll only make my life Mrs. Drysdale. How are you? How are things in Boston?
Oh, the doctors here are just as silly as the ones in Beverly Hills. They insist there's nothing wrong with me. They've got me so depressed. I just had to call and talk to my darling. Are you taking good care of him?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, he's stretched out on the sofa right now having his nap.
How sweet. Well, the moment he wakens, you take his temperature and give him some of that blue medicine. What? He's waking now? Oh, marvelous. Put him on. Tell him Mumsy wants to hear his sweet voice.
Speak to your Mumsy. He whined.
Oh, he probably has a migraine. Oh, poor Rufusha. dinner, my lord.
Even made a hypochondriac out of you. Any message for Mr. Drysdale?
Who? Oh, Melvin, my husband. Yes, well, is he there?
No, he's up at the Clampett estate. Clampett. They bought the place next to yours just about the time you left for Boston.
I don't find them listed in the first families. You tell Milburn not to mingle with them socially until I've had a genealogical check run on them. We don't want riffraff living under our very noses.
For pain, one swaller. Don't open near fire.
I'll be right in, Mr. Drysdale.
Thank you, Ellie Mae. Granny, this is quite an array of medicines you have here.
Yep, them's all the remedies I made myself.
I wish you'd make something to help my wife. She's a terrible hypochondriac.
Oh, what's the hypochondriac? Ellie, you run along now. I'll join you directly.
Yeah, she goes from doctor to doctor to doctor.
Well, I reckon the doctor can't help what's ailing her.
Of course they can. It's psychosomatic. But she insists on prescriptions. Oh, I wish you could see our bedroom. Bottles all over the place. I plead with her. I hide the stuff. She always finds it or gets more. You think that's a lot of bottles? You should see my wife after a trip to the pharmacy. Why, she's so loaded she can hardly stagger up the stairs.
Sit down, Mr. Drysdale. Set yourself.
And she has a dog. A perfectly healthy poodle. Now, would you believe that she
Don't tell me.
laps it up just like she does?
Lord, look. You're sure toting a heavy burden. Now, maybe I can help you. Now, if she was to think that every time that she was to...
You can just wear that barrel till your clothes get dry.
What happened to Jethro? Get too close to a skunk?
He jumped in the pond with his clothes on. Mr. Drysdale, I'm sorry to kept you waiting. Did Granny tell you about her complaints about the kitchen?
Jed, I'm ashamed to mention my piddling troubles to a man bowed down with the misery he's got. You know his wife.
Mr. Drysdale, our hearts go out to you.
And we're going to help you, ain't we, Jed?
You bet you we are. Man serves a poor purpose in this world if he can't help his neighbor.
Oh, you're very kind, but I'll manage. I've been living with it for years.
Have a nip, it'll brace you out.
Oh, no, thank you. I never touch it.
You hear that, Jed? Poor man. He's got all the trouble and none of the fun.
There goes a soft-hearted woman.
Yeah. Now, about her complaints.
Oh, yeah. Well, for one thing, that electric meat grinder has been giving Granny a heap of trouble.
Electric meat grinder?
Yeah, listen right here in the dish trough. Oh, it grinds the meat all right, but then you can't find it. It goes down that pipe. Granny lost 2 squirrels and a rabbit in that thing.
That's a disposal. You only put things in there that you don't want.
Now, Mr. Drysdale, that ain't altogether true. Granny sure one of them squirrels and that rabbit. And another thing, this here sideways pump don't work at all. We must have carried in a barrel of water to prime that thing, but it don't work. Oh, there's another thing. Every once in a while, this little thingamajig here makes a ringing noise like that. There it goes again.
Well, that's a telephone. Someone's calling you.
I don't hear him.
They're calling you on the telephone. Say hello into it.
Hello.
You have to lift the receiver first. Now say it.
Hello.
Mr. Clampett?
You said my name. Can he see through this thing?
No.
Mr. Clampett, may I please speak to Mr. Drysdale?
Well, they sure can see, or else how would they know you're standing here?
That's my secretary. She knows I'm here. Yes, Miss Hathaway.
Mr. Drysdale, I have some messages.
But I'll be doggone. Granny! Ellie Mae, come look what we got!
The Clampetts of justice covered the telephone.
Hey, folks, Mr. Drysdale told me what y'all was up to. You can't talk to Ma on that thing.
Well, look who's getting too smart for his britches.
Too big for him, too.
Mr. Drysdale says we can talk to her.
Yeah, you think you know more than Mr. Drysdale?
Well, I know Ma ain't got no telephone.
Excuse me, call operator.
You sure small things. And who asked you to butt in?
I'll get it. I know what to do when it does that. Hello? Yeah, he's here. Well, for goodness sake. Well, sure. Well, howdy there, Miss Drysdale. This here is yours. Margaret. Oh, how wonderful.
What? Man? Oh, yes, the telephone man.
Well, how are you?
I'm worried, that's how I am. I'm afraid, Milburn, that you've let the wrong kind of people move in next door to us, and I'm dreadfully upset.
Now, dear, you mustn't let yourself get into this condition. Control yourself. No, dear, you mustn't come home yet. No, not until we get them in shape. I mean, get you in shape. I'll let you know. Now, we'll wait until you're cute.
Milburn, I want to meet the Clampetts as soon as possible. Now, when will that be?
What about Christmas? Next year.
Milburn, this conversation is making less and less sense. Now, I want the truth about the Clampetts, or I'm flying home immediately.
Now, Margaret, please control yourself. I don't want you flying. No, please, dear, please, stay on the ground. Dear, why don't you lie down and take a sedative? And I'll call you from the office. Goodbye. I'm sorry, my wife.
We understand.
Well, I'll see you later.
Keep your chin up.
Poor me.
Don't it just tear your heart out? He is so ashamed of his wife, he don't even want us to meet her.
What he says, she won't be cured till Christmas of next year.
You gotta help me, Granny.
I still say I could cure Mrs. Drysdale in 2 days.
Sure be worth a try. If we could get her out here.
Kid, misery loves company. And if that poor, miserable woman thought that she had a drinking friend living next door.
Granny, you ain't ever down more than a thimbleful in your whole life.
I know, kid. But it'd be worth a little white lie to help a neighbor and save a marriage.
But how? Hello? Yes, ma'am. Oh, ain't that a stroke of luck, Granny? It's Mrs. Drysdale again. Well, no, ma'am, he ain't here, Mrs. Drysdale, but Granny and me'd like to talk to you. We's your next-door neighbors, the Clampetts.
Listen, honey, I got my still set up not 50 feet from your back door. Now, you come on home, and you and me will get glassy-eyed, falling down crocked. We'll get juiced at eyeballs. How does that sound to you, honey?
I don't hear nothing.
Me neither.
What do you mean my wife's on her way from Boston?
That's the message I got when I tried to put through your call. She's on a jet, right?
Never mind the grisly details. Oh, I am ruined. If Margaret gets one look at those hillbillies next door, she'll leave me. Get my psychiatrist over here. Move over, Claude. I need this more than you do.
You don't need your psychiatrist. You're looking at the dark side.
There is a bright side.
Of course. Your wife is an intelligent woman. She'll see that underneath that rough exterior, the Clampetts are basically fine people. Why, she may even help them to get socially acclimated.
You're right. I don't need my psychiatrist. You do.
Your wife will take...
My wife, through whose aristocratic veins flows blood the color of bluing, considers anyone whose ancestors did not arrive on the Mayflower immigrants.
She does make rather a fetish at the family tree, but...
But nothing. I'm stuck. Now, I'm either going to lose my wife or my largest depositor. That's what makes the whole thing so difficult. You know, I like the Clampetts, but I love my wife. Isn't life weird? She's a snob, she's a hypochondriac, she's not young and beautiful, but I love her. And now I do need my psychiatrist.
Now, Mr. Drysdale, as we used to say at Vassar, que tout est bien, tout est clair et set. Courage will light your path.
Yes, I know what I have to do. I'll go to the airport. I'll take Margaret in my arms. I'll look her in the eye and lie like a rug. I'll tell her the Clampetts have left town and put her back on the plane.
I beseech you, do not become enmeshed in a web of lies.
But it won't be a lie if the Clampetts are tricked into actually leaving town.
But they're just getting settled. What could possibly induce them to leave town?
That's your problem.
Me? You expect me?
But they like you. Finagle them into going to Palm Springs for a few days.
No, no. I will not help you spin your deceitful web.
Miss Hathaway, would you rather be an unemployed secretary or a spider with a rage?
You know, I think the Clampetts might enjoy Palm Springs.
Palm Springs? Where's that?
It's about 125 miles from here. In the desert.
Desert?
Yeah, remember we crossed one of them on the way out here. All that sand?
Yeah, I remember. You ain't getting me to no desert. Trees are so far apart, the woodpeckers had to tote lunch.
But this is different, Granny. This is a beautiful resort with lots of trees and fine hotels and swimming pools.
We got a pond for swimming right here.
Ellie's out swimming right now.
You didn't jump in with her clothes on, did you?
I don't know.
Oh, surely not. She promised to wear the lovely swim ensemble I got her.
Yeah, she done just like Jethro. Here she comes with the dress shrunk clear up to her. Granny!
What's the matter?
All her hair come out.
What?
It's true. Ellie lost her beautiful hair.
Heaven help her, she's bald as an eagle.
Ellie Mae, take off your bathing cap.
Oh, praise be.
All right, but Ellie, you hadn't ought to went swimming with your clothes on and shrunk up that nice dress.
This ain't a dress, is it, Miss Jane?
No, dear, it's a beach jacket to wear over a bathing suit.
Ellie Mae Clampett.
Cover up your nakedness, child.
That's the way everyone goes swimming out here. It's perfectly proper.
Well, you wouldn't catch me in nothing like that.
Me neither.
Mr. Clampett, how would you like for a member of your family to become Princess of Palm Springs?
What?
They're holding a beauty contest at the Springs this week, and someone in this very room has the face and the figure to win. When the judges see her in a bathing suit...
I told you I ain't putting on no bathing suit.
Believe me, Mr. Clampett, this beautiful daughter of yours can win that Palm Springs beauty contest without even trying.
Can we go, Pa?
I'm sorry, Ellie Mae, but I just don't cotton to the notion of a bunch of strangers gawking at your bare limbs. Besides, we already know you're the prettiest. Why shame all them other girls? Run along and get some clothes on.
Yes, sir, Pa.
Mr. Clampett, I do wish you would reconsider about going to Palm Springs, even if Ellie
Uncle
doesn't...
Jay, Duke, and... Howdy, Miss Hathaway.
Jane to you, Jethro.
Well, Jane to you, too. Duke and me's all set to go hunting, ain't we, Duke?
Jethro, have you ever hunted in the desert?
No, ma'am.
Oh, it's a fascinating place. You might even see a mirage.
If there's one there, old Duke will tree it. He's the best hunting dog there is.
Well, I love hunting around Palm Springs. You'll all love Palm Springs. They have wonderful hotels. Have you ever stayed in a beautiful hotel suite?
No, I ain't, darling.
Granny, let's you and me go and leave these two lovebirds alone.
No, wait, please, let me take you all to Palm Springs.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you take Jethro and Ellie Mae and me and Granny will stay here?
But then Mrs. Dreiser would see. I mean...
Is Drysdale coming home? Is that why you was trying to get us out of town so we wouldn't meet her?
Yes, that is the reason. I'm so ashamed I could die.
Well, now, don't go to crying about it. The way I look at it, ain't nobody got a right to be ashamed of nobody else. Good Lord made us all, and if we's good enough for him, we sure ought to be good enough for each other. I'll tell you what, if this means so much to you, we'll all pick up and go to them Palm Springs with you.
Oh, bless you. Mr. Drysdale will be so happy. I'll go help Ellie Mae pack.
There, Elvin. The
Clampett's gardener shouldn't leave his car parked in the front driveway that way.
Oh, you're absolutely right, dear, yes. Oh, Margaret, don't you want to stop at home first and freshen up? Take some medicine or something?
Milburn, I have just flown 3,000 miles to meet the Clampetts, and I intend to meet them right now.
Oh, Don, they're probably out of town. You see, they travel extensively. Oh, they're wonderful people. It'd be a shame if you missed them. But I know how anxious you are to get back to Boston and your doctors. And Sonny. How is Sonny? How's he like Harvard this year? Is it Yale, Princeton, Dartmouth? Let's go ask him.
Milburn, what is the matter with you? Milburn, let go. Let go, you hear me? Let go, I say. Let go. Have you gone mad? Let go, you beast.
Step aside, lady. I'll shoot it.
What'd you shoot, Jethro?
I think it was a fox.
Who's that?
My wife. And why aren't you in Palm Springs? Let's get her home as quickly as possible.
What's going on?
Jethro shot a fox. That's Miss Drysdale, stewed to the gills.
No wonder they didn't want us to see her.
Poor woman.
You mean poor husband.
Yeah. We can't go up to Palm Springs and leave our neighbor at a time like this.
That's right. We gotta pitch in and see that his wife gets cured.
Uncle Jed, are we going hunting?
Might as well. It'll be a while before she sleeps that one off.
Well, I hope there's some possum around. These skinny old California foxes ain't worth shooting at.
You know, Ellie, I'm glad company is coming. We don't get much chance to use this fancy eating room.
No, Jethro and Paul uses most of to play what you call pool. I don't see much sport in it myself.
Well, what can you expect from a game that you play on the dining room table?
You reckon I ought to set 8 places? Is it for sure Miss Flat and Miss Scruggs is a-coming?
Well, we know that Lester's bringing his wife, but we don't know for sure about Earl. But you better set a place for Louise, just in case.
Yes, ma'am. Where about you want Jethro's plate?
Put him up at the end yonder there. When he goes to eating, I don't want the company in bruising range of his elbows.
How's it going, girl?
Jed, why ain't you on your way to the airport? You're going to be late picking up Lester and Earl.
Well, according to Jethro, we got plenty of time. He says he's got a new way to get there.
I wouldn't trust no shortcut if that eating machine picked it out.
Well, this ain't no shortcut. He says he got something new he put on the truck.
What is it, Paul?
I don't know yet, Ellie. I think he wants to surprise me with it. But he says it's going to be a real time saver.
This here's a surprise I've been working on.
It's kind of like a windmill.
I call it my traffic jam jumper. Hop in, I'll show you how it works.
Well, now, boy, we don't want to be late meeting Lester and Earl's plane.
That's where this rascal's gonna come in handy. Suppose we was driving down the freeway, and there's a big traffic jam up ahead. We don't sit there and fret and fume.
What do we do?
Throw this out of gear, throw this into gear, give this a yank. Here we go. That's the whole idea. We just fly right on over that traffic jam.
He's up in the air, all right, but how do we move ahead?
Guess I forgot to figure that out.
Did you figure out how we get down?
Oh, yeah, that's easy. Just shut off the engine.
What do you suppose that was?
We best go see.
Well, other than that, what do you think of it?
I'll tell you later. Right now, I got to get somebody out to that airport.
Oh, Ralph, I haven't been able to find Mr. Drysdale. Will you tell him I have to rush out and do something for the Clampetts, and I'll explain when I get back. I hope it isn't too breezy back there, Mrs. Flatt.
Oh, no. I was all prepared to ride in the Clampett's truck. This is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, mighty nice of you too, Miss Hathaway.
Yes, ma'am. We sure do appreciate it.
My pleasure. I'm a great fan of your music. Unfortunately, I don't get to hear you very often.
I tell you what, we'll be doing a couple numbers as soon as we get to Jed's place.
Yeah, Granny always makes us sing for supper.
You're sure invited for listening and, like as not, eating too.
Oh, I wish I could accept, but I'm afraid I have to dash right back to the office.
Oh. Well, why don't you boys do a number 4 right now?
How about it, Lester?
Oh, that would be an imposition. I couldn't ask you to perform in an open car.
We've played worse places.
And for smaller audiences.
Margaret, I've asked you not to call me on this car telephone. It's for business. All right, dear. What have the Clampetts done now? Saw them where? What? In their what? Margaret, trucks do not fly. All right, dear, go back to your bridge club. I'll do something about it. I'll get her a new psychiatrist. Talk about obsessions. Now she thinks those hillbillies hover in the air. Oh. Get me Crestview 67399.
How about you girls joining in?
Well, I'm game if you are.
Lester doesn't think I'm much of a singer.
Now, Gladys, I never said that.
Well, why don't you let me go out on the road with you and perform then?
Well, darling, that's because you don't sing her kind of song.
If you let me sing my kind of...
Here we go. Everybody in the same key now. Little Brown Jug.
You and me, little brown jug, oh, I love thee. You and me, little brown jug, oh, I love thee.
What do you mean Miss Hathaway isn't there? I left her in charge. Well, ring her office again. Well, ring the secretarial pool. Rick. Isn't that Miss Hathaway coming towards us?
I believe it is, sir.
Oh, there's a couple of fellas in the car. And another girl. They're singing. She's out on a date while my bank goes to pot. What? You bet I've got a message for her. She's fired.
You and me, little brown jug, oh, I love thee.
I'm sorry Louise couldn't come along.
Oh, so was she, Granny, but one of us had to stay and look after things, and she volunteered.
Well, it was nice of her to let you have the cooking lesson.
Another cooking lesson?
Didn't she show you my letter? I told her that this time I was going to learn you city girls everything. From pickling pig's knuckles to making hog's head cheese. And he's going to start with butchering the hog.
Oh, thank you for watching my desk, Miss Murray. Any messages?
Just this one.
You may return to the secretarial pool. I'll call. It says I'm discharged.
Yes. Everybody's sorry to see you go. We started taking up a little collection for you.
I'm sure this is some sort of... Oh, if this is somebody's idea of a joke, I don't...
Oh, Miss Murray, will you... Well, if it isn't the playgirl of the Commerce Bank.
Chief, what is the meaning of this?
Well, let me see if I can translate it for you. Discharged. That means fired, canned, sacked. I need employees who are trustworthy and obedient. Wait in my office.
Yes, sir.
I don't need employees who skip out the minute my back is turned.
Chief, if you're referring to my absence in the bank...
I'm referring to you joyriding along Whittier Boulevard with that flashy blonde and those two Texas beer salesmen. You and me, little brown jug. Oh, what a double life you lead. Trim, prim Miss Hathaway in the office. And the minute my back is turned, it's Happy New Year.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, if I am to be turned out without a hearing?
Without a hearing? Everybody along Whittier Boulevard gave you a hearing. You and those off-key butter and egg men.
Before I leave, I think you should know that my passengers were Mr. and Mrs. Lester Flatt and Mr. Earl Scruggs. Dear friends of Mr. J.D. Clampett, at whose request I picked them up at the airport. Goodbye.
Come back to your desk. Can't you say a little joke?
I don't consider it a joke to be humiliated in the eyes of my fellow employees. Why, they even took up a contribution for me.
Oh, really? Well, let's see. 53 cents. I tell you what, if you stay, I'll make it an even buck.
Your generosity is overwhelming. But if this is my reward for 10 years of faithful service, no, thank you.
No, wait. That's only the beginning. From now on, you don't have to work Sundays. And you can take a full 20 minutes for lunch every day. And no more working late. I promise you'll be out of here by 9 o'clock every night.
Thank you, Ella Mae, but my wife Gladys is real fond of singing. I'm going to ask her to do a number for us.
Oh, you don't want to hear me?
Yeah. Please.
But I'm not a performer. I'm not even prepared or anything.
Come on.
Well, all right. I'll try. What do you think I should do, boys?
How about that song you've been rehearsing for 2 weeks?
Yeah, that one you bought that special new dress for.
All right, boys. But I think the lighting and the acoustics are better in the entrance hall. Oh, and fellas, on your accompaniment, I'd like you both to be playing guitar. And when we get to the rubato strain on the reprise, glissando into the major seventh, and we'll take it moderato on the subdominant, okay?
There she goes with that music school talk again.
Yeah, I wish I knew what it meant.
Me too, Lester, me too.
We didn't know Gladys was a singer.
This is going to be a real treat.
I'll say.
Yeah, boy.
Now, don't go to getting your hopes up. Gladys is a sweet woman, and she tries hard. But she ain't never going to be no Minnie Pearl.
Nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may be king, you may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. The world still is the same, we'll never change it. Just as sure as the stars shine above, you are nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love.
Shall I fetch your truck around now, Granny? It's all fixed.
All right.
Now, you see what I mean, Jed? She's got a pleasant voice, but it just ain't got no power to it.
She wants to go on the road with us and sing at fairs and such.
Why, you'd never hear her over the livestock, Judge. Chickens cackling and pigs squealing would plumb drown her out.
Well, this is the prettiest dress I ever did see.
Oh, thank you, Ellie.
Take my advice, Gladys. Don't wash it in hot water no more. It's pretty near shrunk off you now.
All right, Granny, I'll be careful.
Well, you better change. This ain't no dress to wear walking around the stockyards.
Stockyards?
Jethro's going to drive us down to pick out the hog to butcher.
Well, Granny, I thought maybe once you heard me sing that you might want to forget about the cooking lessons.
Oh, no, honey. Just 'cause you ain't a world beater at one thing don't mean you can't do another.
Hey, what have you done to the truck, Jed?
Well, that's Jethro's doing. He ain't got enough to keep himself busy, so he's took up inventing. He calls that his traffic jam jumper.
I got that moving ahead problem licked, Uncle Jed. Now I got rocket power.
Jethro, Gladys has decided to stay here and let us go pick out the hog.
Okay, let's go.
What's all this stuff?
Get in, I'll show you. Let's say we's going down the freeway. And all of a sudden, there's a big traffic jam up ahead. Well, we don't sit there and sweat and fume.
What do we do?
Watch. I throw this out of gear. Throw this into gear. Give this a yank. And here we go. Hang on, Granny!
Ain't that kind of dangerous, Jed?
Could be, yes. Granny! Don't let him turn off the key!
You what?
Turn off the key! Like I said, the boy ain't got enough to keep himself busy.
Same thing the next time you get me in that car, you get me.
Granny, where are those pone sticks I just baked?
Oh, I put them out back to cool.
Oh, how did they taste?
I don't know, honey. They were too hot. Now, come on, Gladys. Let's get to the pig knuckles.
Oh, Granny, do I have to? I love Lester and I want to please him, but I'm just no good at making these country dishes.
Well, I could learn you to cook a city dish, like beaver casserole.
Beaver casserole? That's a city dish?
Specialty of the house in the hotel dining room in Bug Tussle.
Granny, actually, I don't want to take cooking lessons at all. What I want more than anything in life is to sing.
You really got your heart set on it, ain't you?
Yes, I have. I love it.
All right. Take off your apron.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give you a singing lesson.
Well, on second thought, every wife should know how to cook something for her husband.
Yeah, Lester, you got yourself a problem. A woman as pretty as Gladys would likely be a big drawing card in fairs, rodeos.
Oh, she's pretty, all right, and sweet as sorghums, but...
You know, Lester, I've been thinking, maybe if Gladys had sang right into a microphone and we turned the volume up as high as it'd go...
Oh, it ain't just her voice, Earl. She just won't want to learn no proper song.
She don't?
Oh, I've tried my best to get her to sing Stomping the Clover, Sweet Nellie, and The Sinking of the Titanic.
And she don't want it?
Oh, she wants to sing songs like Stardust, Night and Day, and Smoke Gets in Your Eyes.
I never heard of them.
Well, you see what I'm up against.
I do for a fact.
Well, cheer up, Lester. Maybe Granny will teach her to cook so good she'll want to stay home in the kitchen.
I sure hope so. Say, Jed, what kind of wood is this? I've dulled 3 blades just to try and whittle it.
Me too.
It is tough, ain't it?
Yeah, where'd you get these?
I found them laying on the bench.
Hi.
Darling, how's the cooking lessons coming along?
Just fine, Lester. I already baked some corn pone sticks.
Well, ain't that dandy?
They're my favorites.
How about a taste?
All right. Granny put them out here to cool.
Mr. Drysdale's been calling you from the bank.
Let him call?
Well, ain't you working there no more?
I am happy to announce that I have terminated my affiliation with that penurious martinet.
Oh, still at the bank, huh?
Ellie, thanks to Mr. Flatts and Mr. Scruggs, I am about to become a balladeer, a troubadour, an interpreter of the true ethnic idiom.
They got you a promotion, huh?
That's funny. I can't find them. Have you seen anything of them?
Not me. Have you, Earl?
Me neither.
I bet you the birds got them. And the squirrel.
Oh, gee.
It ain't safe to leave anything that good around outside.
Too bad, Gladys.
Don't you worry, Lester. I'll go right back and bake some just for you.
Oh, Gladys. Are you sure you wouldn't like to learn Stompin' the Clover, Sweet Nellie?
No, Lester, that's not my kind of music. I like sophisticated songs.
Well, then, how about the wreck of the old 97? Do it for her, fellas.
Jed, we'd rather not do one of them sad songs.
Would you rather eat one of them corn sticks?
Greetings, all.
Hi,
Jane.
Hey,
Here you are, gentlemen. I am ready for my audition. Your husband has invited me to journey to Nashville and join them in interpreting the folk music of our land.
Oh, well, isn't that sweet of my husband? He's never invited me to do that.
Honey, like I said, it's because you can't do her kind of music.
Who says I can't?
Well, then it's because you don't want to.
Who says I don't want to?
Well, and,
Here we go. The wreck of old 97. Let her go, Lester.
All they gave him his orders, Monroe, Virginia. Steve, you're way behind time. It's not 38, but it's old 97. You must put her in Spencer on time.
Sing one, Miss Jane.
He turned around and said to his fireman, a shovel in a little more coal. And when we cross this big wide mountain, you can watch old 97 a roll.
Come on, Gladys, now show us what you can do.
The mighty rough road from Lynchburg to Danville, it's lying on a 3-mile grade. It was on that grade that he lost his air brakes, and you see what a jump he made.
Bump us, of course, Jed.
Going down grade, making 90 miles an hour, his whistle began to scream. He was found in the wreck with his hand on the throttle and was scalded to death by the steam.
Can I help you, Granny? Sure can, Ellie. I must be getting old. This clothes basket is heavier than a bucket full of hogs' livers. Don't touch it. It's haunted.
I bet you little Jasper crawled in there to get warm.
Who in tarnation is little Jasper?
Ain't he cute, Granny?
I declare another pussycat. Only this one's all broke out with spots.
This here little feller's what you call a jaguar.
Where'd he come from?
Critter Doc drove to zoo, said he comes all the way from South America.
Down Louisiana way. Nice country. They'll bring you home to wean. He says, I got away with the critters. Well, you better get away with this one before your pa sees it. He's getting a craw full of you dragging home them critters.
Where is Pa?
Out front, soling shoes. Come on, little Jasper. I better hide you, baby. It's me, Pearl. Don't you want to kiss me?
Just didn't want to nail us together, Pearl. My doggies, it's good to see you.
It's good to be here. I thought I heard Pearl's voice. You did, Pearl! Granny! You old rascal, you surprised us. How are things back home? Fine as frogs here.
Why didn't you let us know you was coming? We'd met you at the airport.
Oh, Daddy spoiled the surprise. Besides, I didn't want to take Jethro out of school. And Mr. Drysdale offered his limousine and livered chauffeur. Thanks a heap. Honey, May, it's good to see you.
Well, tell us all about Jeffrey getting married.
Did you have a big fancy wedding in your parlor?
Sure she did. Pearl's been planning that for years.
It didn't quite come off the way I planned it.
What happened?
You know, I had Jeffrey all set to marry Albert Ledbetter, that tall spring bean of undertaker over to Ripley.
Good, steady fella, Al. Best undertaker in the whole county.
Only undertakers in the county.
Nice feller, too.
Oh, Granny, I wish you could have seen the way he decorated my parlor. Well, you couldn't walk for the flowers. They weren't all strictly fresh, mind you, and some of them still had the black ribbons on them.
Oh, flowers is flowers.
Al never was one to waste nothing.
Well, what happened, Aunt Pearl? Didn't Cousin Jethrine marry up with Undertaker?
Stood him up, eloped with another man.
There goes my free funeral.
Well, tell me, Pearl, who'd Jethrine lope with?
That drummer from Joplin, Jasper Depew.
Why, he weren't no more than half her size.
I reckon love ain't measured by a yardstick, Granny. And they do look happy. Sent me a snapshot from Turnersville.
That old Al had better take it, Pearl. Jethrine stand him up like that.
Took it right nasty, Jed. He backed his hearse up to the door and hauled away every single flower. Where did he take him? Straight over to Elverna Bradshaw's parlor. He up and married her daughter before them flowers could wilt.
Al never was one to waste nothing.
Jed, I gotta have...
Hello, son. Ma! Come and see. Jethro, put me down.
Jethro, what are you doing home from school in the middle of the morning?
Did you hear your ma was coming home?
No, Uncle Jed. They just found out over at school that I ain't got no certificate of health.
What's that?
That's something that says that I'm healthy.
I'm say you're healthy. Now go on back to school.
I gotta have an examination first, Granny.
Stick out your tongue. You're healthy. Get back to school.
Granny, I reckon he's gotta be examined by a doctor.
I've been doctoring better than 60 years.
It's gotta be a doctor that's what they call a MD.
What does that stand for?
Mr. Doctor, I reckon.
Well, I'm a MD. Mrs. Doctor.
Granny, maybe he ought to do like the school says, huh?
City doctors.
Trouble is, we don't know no doctors.
Well, I know the critter doctor over to the zoo.
Jethro's a human being, Ellie Mae.
Thank you, Ma.
Why don't we ask Miss Drysdale? I hear tell she's been to every doctor in Beverly Hills.
Hey, Marie the maid told me about a doctor she's been going to for 7 years.
He must be a crackerjack. What's his name?
Let me think. It commences with D. I got it! Dr. Twombly.
Twombly don't commence with a D.
Well, doctor does.
You go on upstairs and take a bath and put on some clean underwear and get over and see him.
Okay, Ma.
I sure hope Dr. Twombly don't examine his brains.
Doctor, this is Jethro Bodine.
Howdy.
How are you, Jethro? Make yourself comfortable on the couch, Reggie.
Thank you.
Well, would you like to tell me all about yourself and why you're here?
Well, why I'm here is that I can't go to school till I get examined by you.
I see. Just lie back and relax.
Well, thank you.
Now, suppose you tell me about this problem you're having at school.
Well, my biggest problem is staying awake while the teacher's talking.
Well, that might be nothing more than a benign subconscious rejection of authority represented by the teacher. It doesn't mean that you necessarily lack interest or capability or intelligence. Above all, you mustn't let this cause you any distress. Together, we will probe into the underlying causations and... So good to feel needed.
Anyway, this little critter just scared the living daylights out of your Aunt Pearl. Now, something tells me it just might be yours.
I'm awful sorry, Paul. I plumb forgot I hid him in Aunt Pearl's dresser drawer. He just loves to get in betwixt clothes and snooze.
Give me a terrible start, Ellie. I thought it was a fur muffin. Started to stick my hand in and he bit right down on it. Oh, I let out a yell, I can tell you.
I heard you clean down to the cement pond. You're yodeling better than ever.
Granny,
I reckon a ornery critter like this ought to be outside instead of in the house scaring folks.
Oh, leave her, stagehead. I'm commencing to like her yodeling.
Oh, Granny. Has anybody heard anything of Jethro? He's been at that doctor for a good spell now.
Ah, rest easy, Pearl. There's a lot of boy that examine.
Now, Jethro, during your few waking moments, you have managed to tell me that your mother's a widow.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'd like you to tell me all about your mother. I'm very interested in her.
And don't blame you. She's pretty.
That's fine. Now then, Jethro, what's your relationship to your mother?
I'm her son.
Yes, I know that. But how do you feel about her? Do you like her?
Oh, I sure do. She's a dandy, huh?
Does she ever give you hostile emotions or aggressive tendencies?
Well, she would if I asked her for 'em.
Yes, well, suppose we talk about your father. Do you remember him?
Oh, yes, sir. He used to take me hunting. Taught me how to shoot with a rifle when I was just a little feller.
Oh, you were good buddies when he was alive.
Oh, yes, sir.
Did you miss him?
I never shot at him.
Well, suppose you tell me about the rest of your family. Do you have any brothers?
No, sir. But I got a sister that's got one.
Well, that would be you, Jethro.
No, sir. Her name is Jethrine.
Why don't you go back to sleep for a while?
Oh, Granny, wait till you see what all's in here. Every last thing you asked me to bring back from the hills.
Oh, bless you, Pearl. Cool, Root. Pearl, you'll never know how I needed this. When you simmer this in slippery elm tea, it is first rate for chills and fever.
Dried crawdad tails.
Big rascals, too. When they is ground up to powder. You can't beat it for easing headaches, curing warts, and seasoning sauerkraut.
Catfish whiskers. Oh. Salt water. Oh. Dogwood bark. Oh. And the skins from 3 full-grown newts caught at midnight under a full moon.
You ain't gonna believe this, but you just can't buy these in Beverly Hills.
That's a fact, Pearl. Jethro drove me up to 5 big department stores out here, and not one of them had a newt skin.
When it comes to charms and potions, you might just as well not commence unless you got the midnight moonlight caught fully grown newt.
Pearl, did you do all this gathering yourself?
Oh, no, not yet. I had company, especially for the midnight moonlight newt hunt.
Anybody I know?
Oh, 3 of the most marriageable men in the hills.
Well, that'd be Jack Cantrell, Widower Lloyd, and Old Man Casey.
Oh, he ain't so old. I declare, I had to watch out more for him than the newts.
I'm surprised you didn't get married while you was back home, Pearl.
I had plenty of chances, Granny, but I got sport living out here. So I'm going to hold out for one of them good-looking, snappy-dressing, money-spending Beverly Hills fellas.
Ma.
Well, what'd the doctor say? Are you well? Are you healthy?
I never did find out. But when that Dr. Twombly heard that you was my ma, that's all he talked about from then on.
Talking about me?
He must ask a dozen questions about you.
But Jethro, I don't even know the man.
Well, he sure knows about you. And he'd like you to come to his office to see him.
When?
Well, he says the sooner the better. And he's a good looker, too.
Bet you Mrs. Drysdale told him about me. I'll hurry and put on my star-bought hair and my society dress.
Jethro, this Dr. Twombly a pretty nice fella?
Yes, sir. But he's awful nosy, though. Never stops asking questions.
He's interested.
But there's one thing about him Ma ain't gonna like. He's a messy writer.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. You know how Ma's always fussing at me for spilling ink in my writing book?
Yeah?
Well, he showed me one of his books, And Uncle Jed, it's the biggest mess of ink blots you ever saw.
Mrs. Bodine, how nice to see you. I'm Dr. Twombly.
Bonjour, s'il vous plaît, I'm sure.
You obviously are a more sophisticated woman than I was led to believe.
Merci, n'est-ce pas?
Excuse me. Step over to the couch and make yourself comfortable. Oh, sit down. Sit down. Relax. Let's get acquainted.
You get the wrong idea just because I talk French.
Bodine, you don't.
You bet I don't.
Here you are, Doctor. And I postponed your golf date until 3.
Thank you.
Dr. Twombly?
Yes, but I'm busy right now.
I'm sorry, you cannot see the doctor without an appointment.
I wouldn't count on that, ma'am, and might be a good idea for you to leave the room.
Who are you?
Name's Jed Clampett, blood cousin to Pearl Bodine.
Good. It's all right, nurse. Mr. Clampett, I'm glad to see you.
Before I shake your hand, maybe I better speak my piece.
By all means. Sit down.
I'd rather stay on, thanks, and I'll get right to the point. Back where I come from, we don't take kindly to anybody trifling with our female kinfolks.
But, Mr. Clampett,
I take into account that this is a big city, and your ways are probably different than ours. When my cousin Pearl tells me she hadn't no more than said howdy, and you commence pulling her to the settee, by doggies, that's dropping a rusty bucket down my well.
Mr. Clampett, you don't understand. I do this every day. I'm a psychiatrist.
But I'd try to get cured of that if I was you. Unless you're liable to wind up bad hurt.
Let me explain and apologize for the mistaken impression.
You can come out the house, explain to Granny, and apologize to Pearl.
I'd love to come to your house. I want to meet every member of your family.
Well, that'll be fine. But keep a tight hold on your feelings. I reckon Cousin Pearl can look after herself, but I got a daughter, Ellie Mae, and I catch you making one move in her direction, you're going to find yourself weighing about 3 bullets heavier.
Pearl, drink this sassafras tea. I bolstered it up with a little Mountain Dew. Calm you down.
Thank you, Granny.
Pearl, I wish you'd wear this thing or put it away. I keep thinking it's one of Ellie's critters. A bit ago, I tried to feed it a saucer of milk.
Pearl? You do something different to your hair? Well, Pearl, Jethro and me brung that Dr. Twombly home here so he could apologize to you.
Oh, I got it. No mirror in here.
I hope you didn't whoop him to where he's no good for shooting.
I ain't gonna shoot nobody, Granny. That's why I come in here first.
You whooped him too bad, huh?
Whoop him at all.
How come?
Poor fella's so sickly, he gotta have a nurse handy all the time. Jethro, bring him on in here. Dr. Twombly, this here is Granny.
I'm pleased to meet you, Granny.
He don't look too sickly to whoop.
You want me to whoop him, Granny? You go look for some chores.
What, for instance?
Put some air in the truck tire.
They won't hold no more air, Uncle Jed.
Well, then let some out and then put some in.
I never get to do anything I want to do. Somebody's always saying, do this, do that, put air in, take air out. I don't know.
Granny, where's Ellie?
She's out back running a new Jaguar around the yard.
Well, I'll go fetch her. I reckon you'll be safe with them.
Sit down, Doctor.
Thank you.
So, you call yourself a doctor, do you?
Well, I do hold several degrees.
All right, Doctor. How do you cure warts?
Warts?
Yeah, warts.
Well, dermatology isn't my field, but I assume electrodesiccation is still the preferred method. Oh, is there a newer method?
Stump water and lye, mixed with ground up crawdad tails, daubed on with the leg bone of a buzzard, just before the moon comes up. Think you can remember that?
Well, I'll try.
How do you cure quinsy?
Quinsy? Tonsillitis.
No, that wouldn't cure it.
An inflammation of the pharyngeal area.
I don't care what you call it, that wouldn't cure quinsy. Quick, what kind of poultice for rising in the ear?
Poultice?
What's acidity for?
Well,
How would you cure the vapors? What about the drowsies? Aching joints, stone bruises, corns, dander, twinges, and proud flesh.
These things are outside my field.
A doctor goes where he's needed. He don't just stay on his own land.
Now, you sit right back down. Remember what I told you. Hey, this here is Dr. Twombly.
Howdy.
How do you do? Are you the young lady with the new Jaguar?
I sure am. You want to see it?
Well, yes, I'm an enthusiast myself. Is it in the garage?
Yeah, right in the yard. Come on.
Now, you sit right there. Enemy, bring it in the house.
A Jaguar in the house?
Is it all right, Pa?
Yeah, as long as you don't take it upstairs again.
Bonjour again, Doctor.
Oh, Mrs. Bodine, I am so sorry my actions in the office were misconstrued.
They was downright forward, but if you want to court me proper, you can come into the parlor.
Uncle Dad, looky here.
How'd that happen?
Well, I was blowing air into it like this here. When all of a sudden, pow!
Jethro, I told you and I told you, use the pump. You always bust the tires when you blow them up by mouth.
Okay, Ma. Hey, is he going to be my new daddy?
Me?
I reckon that's up to him, Jethro. We do have a nice parlor for proper courting.
Watch out, Pearl. Here comes Ellie and her Jaguar.
Well, goodbye, folks. It's been weird.
Doctor, wait, we got a big couch in the parlor.
Yes, I suggest you get on it. All of you. I'll send someone over.
Well, Balda, he run out on me. Ooh.
Hey, Ma, you want me to catch him and tote him back?
Let him go. Let him go.
But, Granny, it might be my only chance to get a Beverly Hills doctor.
Doctor my foot. Unless Ellie brings home a 6-foot duck, you ain't never gonna run into a bigger quack.
This no taters, Uncle Jed?
Don't hardly look it, Jethro.
Well, it ain't pretty near 2 dozen.
Better fetch me the peelings. I got a feeling that's where most of the taters is. Doggy.
How's it taste, Uncle Jed?
Pitiful. Maybe them peelings will help. Dump them in.
Doggone, it just don't seem right, us doing women's work, whilst Granny sits in front of that TV set all day.
Ever since she found out there wasn't a washing machine, she ain't been more than 3 feet away from it. She's like a young'un with a new toy.
Like Ellie with her new critter. How come she ain't in her doing this cooking?
Jethro, I just don't believe Ellie was cut out for fixing victuals. Never forget the time she made that gooseberry pie. Ruined our best goose and a whole bucket of berries.
You mean she put together?
She did, and it was a mess, I'll tell you. I got her and Skipper out looking for stuff to put in this here.
Pa, Skipper found some onions.
Onion? Hey, they ought to go dandy in here.
Go on, Skipper, give them to Pa.
Thank you, Skipper. These here Beverly Hills onions ain't got a lot of bite to them. But the tops sure do flower out pretty. Jethro? Wash these and drop them in the pot.
Tops and all?
Yeah, we need all the flavor we can get. Where'd you find them, Ellie?
Over to the Drysdales.
Did you ask the Drysdales, could you buy her some onion?
Oh, yes, sir, Pa. Miss Drysdale says go around to the kitchen door and get some from the cook. But Skipper found some on the way, and we didn't have to bother nobody.
Fine and dandy. Well, drop them in the pot, Jethro. Don't just stand there sniffing them.
Would you like some more? There's a whole big patch of them.
A few more might help, Ellie. That stew ain't got too much going for it.
Come on, Skipper. Let's go pull up some more onions.
How's it going, boy?
Better?
Still pitiful. Even these onions ain't doing nothing. You just got to get Granny to help us.
You ain't gonna pry her loose from that TV set now. This is the time her favorite is on.
You mean that big strapping cowboy star?
That's right. Marshal Quirt Manley, two-gun tamer of the Wild West.
Look out, Quirt! Them rustlers are sneaking up behind you, fixing to shoot you in the back. Look out! Ooh, they got you. Ooh, they got you again. Oh, you're done for now, Quirt. That's it, you dirty coward! Ride off and leave him with a back full of bullets! Attaboy, Quirt, after him! Get him! Catch him, Quirt! I can tell you where they's headed, Quirt. To town to hide in the saloon.
Granny.
It won't do you no good to hide in that saloon, you dirty yellow cowards. Quirt will find you. He'll get you.
Granny,
Shh! Yonder comes Quirt, riding like the wind. That's it. That's where they are. Go get 'em. It won't do you no good to hide in that saloon. I told Quirt where to look.
Say your prayers, yellow bellies. I'm coming in.
is he going to tackle that whole saloon full of bad men all by himself?
You betcha. Quirt Manley don't need no help. Even with 30 or 40 bullets in him, he's more than a match for him.
He's lighting into him.
See, Jed? I told you he didn't need no help. Look at them run, the yellow bellies.
He's right smart of a man, all right.
Old Quirt chased them clean out of town.
Next time, I won't go so easy on you.
Yes, sir, Granny. He sure is a rip-snorting fighter, old Quirt. Oh, look at yonder. Now he's fixing to wrestle his horse.
No, Jed. After a fight, he always hugs old Silver Trigger. And then he rides off into the sunset. See? Here they go.
Fine figure of a man. Sits tall in the saddle. Well, don't he have no sweetheart like Hoot Gibson always had?
No. Ain't no girl good enough for Quirt Manley. He only loves his horse and his dog.
Him and Ellie sure hit it off. Both of them being fond of critters and neither one of them having a sweetheart.
Yonder goes the man for Ellie Mae. If he can tame the whole Wild West, I reckon he can tame one wild girl.
Leastwise, he'd have a fighting chance. Whereabouts would a fella go to find old Quirt?
Off into the sunset, I reckon. That's where they always go.
Mighty big place to commence looking.
Sorry, Skipper, but you must not uproot Mrs. Drysdale's prize, Bulbocodium brunum. That's the botanical term for daffodil. Now, if you're a good boy, if you're a good boy, Jane has a reward for you. A genuine Quirt Manley cowboy outfit. I bet you like it.
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Greetings, Jethro. And how is my strong, handsome, manly hero today?
Well, you'll have to ask Granny. She's the one that watches him.
Watches who?
Quirt Manley.
Oh, you thought I was referring to the television star.
I know you're hungry, Skipper. So am I, but this stew ain't nearly ready yet.
Stew? Jethro, what are you putting in there?
Everything I can lay my hands on. It ain't got no flavor at all.
Oh, no, Jethro. Not tea. Oh, you poor dear boy. You need a woman to do this kind of work for you.
That's a fact. You can say that again.
There happens to be such a woman available.
I know, but I don't stand much chance with her.
Would you like her to take over right now and prepare you a delicious meal?
I sure would.
Then drop to your knees, my handsome one, and ask me the question that is in your heart.
Please, will you go get Granny?
Yes! My answer is Granny!
Jethro, get up off that floor and stir the stew. Miss Jane, will you stay and have victuals with us, such as he is?
Oh, well, yes, but why not let me do...
Hey, Skipper! Come on, Skipper, let's swing to the tree.
Ellie, what are you doing?
We's playing ape. Look here.
Ellie, no, please, be careful!
Sure would like to know where to find that Quirt Manley.
If you mean the television star, he lives right here in Beverly Hills.
He does? Could we get him to meet up with Ellie Mae?
I'm sure Mr. Drysdale could arrange it.
I sure wish he'd hurry. That little monkey's liable to get himself hurt. I see you got some victuals.
Well, yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Told the fella down at the store about Granny watching TV all day instead of cooking. So he sold me these TV victuals, all packaged up and ready to eat.
Well, that's fine. Now, when Quirt Manley gets here, we got something else to offer him besides that pitiful stew.
Is Quirt Manley coming here?
That's right. Now, I want you to get the truck around back so when he rides up here, his horse won't shy at it.
Yes, sir.
And see your guns clean good. We'll ask him to give us some shooting lessons.
But we know how to shoot.
Not like that, rascal. Granny says he can drop 7, 8 rustlers with one shot. That ain't all. He's got a couple 6-shooters that shoot all day without reloading.
Well, I can't wait to meet that rascal.
Granny, Mr. Clampett, Quirt Manley just turned into your driveway.
Quirt Manley!
Yes, I knew Mr. Drysdale could arrange it.
Quirt could put the whole bowl full of you.
Come on, Granny. Miss Jane, you find Ellie Mae and get her into a dress.
Yes.
That's Quirt, all right. I'd no silver triggers nay any place.
What about them 2 gunshots?
Brace yourself, Jed. We're liable to find 30 or 40 rustlers laying out front. Don't shoot, Quirt. We ain't rustlers.
We's friends, Miss Manley.
That we is. How come you ain't riding Silver Trigger? Did them dirty rustlers get him?
We'll have to find him, but I ain't no Quirt Manley.
Jed, there's only one man like him. Why, he's the biggest, the bravest, the fightingest, the strongest, the hard-ridingest, and the straight-shootingest man alive.
Are you people putting me on?
Who said that? Somebody back here?
That you spoke, Mr. Manley? Oh, yeah. Well, sure it was. I got a sore throat. Sometimes the voice just sneaks out that way.
Come on in, Quirt. I'll doctor you.
Ain't got the time, ma'am. Ain't got the time. Still, I'll autograph a couple of pictures for you before I go. There you are. Well, so long now. I got to be driving off into the sunset.
Wait a minute. What about Ellie Mae?
Ellie Mae? Well, sure. There you are.
Mr. Clampett, Ellie Mae is swinging through the trees with Skipper and refuses to come down.
I'll go fetch her down if you can keep Mr. Manley from leaving.
Please don't go, Quirt.
Well, sorry, ma'am, but gotta hit the trail. Well, so long, y'all.
Hold on there, Mr. Manley. My boss, Mr. Drysdale, has been speaking with your boss, the sponsor, and he wants you to stay here and meet Ellie Mae.
Oh, well, in that case, I reckon I could spare a couple of moments.
Bless you, Quirt. Oh, bless you, Quirt. Ellie Mae is the wildest young'un that ever come down from the hills. But if there's one man alive who can tame her, it's Big Quirt Manley.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I wish I was 10 years younger. I tell you right now, I'd give that Ellie Mae a run for her money. I always was partial to tall men. Come on, Bert. You and me are gonna have to jug together. Oh, I know you don't drink, but it won't hurt you to fall off the wagon just once.
All right, May, I don't want no more arguments from you. You get up them back stairs and change into a dress.
Well, why can't I wear cowboy clothes like Quirt Manley?
Because a man like Manley wants a woman that's womanly now.
Lovely, Ellie Mae. Simply lovely. Here. I'll go the back way and get your father.
Yonder he sits. That's him, with the broad shoulders and hat. Sits tall in the chair, don't he?
Sure does, Granny.
Wait till he stands up. Your heart will jump right into your mouth. Mr. Manley, this here is Ellie Mae.
Howdy do. Glad to make your acquaintance.
The rustlers must have jumped first whilst we were out. Look, look!
We gotta catch him, Granny. They done run off with the best part of it.
Gee, that's the first time I've ever seen a swimming chicken.
Shucks, that's nothing. I got a cat that swims, too. And a rooster that plays dead, a dog that climbs trees, and a turkey that shakes hands.
My goodness, I just love animals like these. That is, the little ones. Big animals like horses kind of scare me.
But you ride like the wind on TV.
Oh, that's not me, Ellie Mae. That's my double. He does my riding, shooting, fighting, falling off cliffs and things like that. I have another double who does the deep voice for me. I call him my double-double.
What do you do, Mr. Manley?
Oh, please, Ellie Mae. Call me Henry. That's my real name, you see. I'm only on the show because my father's the sponsor. They just use me for close-ups. They say I have a sincere face.
Got a nice face. I like it.
Oh, thank you, Ellie Mae. I like your face, too. And now that I come to think of it, I like the rest of you. Did you notice that rhymed?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I really like to do. Make up poems for girls like you.
Well, there goes another one right there.
They just pop out of me at times. Would you like me to make up a poem about a raccoon?
I sure would, and Elmer would, too.
Very well. I like the raccoon because he is so filled with goodness and generosity. Well, look how he gives us his skin for use on our garments and other apparel. In addition, raccoons act natural and don't put on airs, as do skunks and old turnips.
You're up, Granny. Someone here to see you.
Well, I don't want to see him. He reminds me of Quirt Manley. Oh, he's a heap more of a man. Handles a gun a heap better, too. He's the one that ought to be on TV.
Hi, Ellie Mae. Hey, excuse me, little feller. Can you tell me where I can find Mr. Quirt Manley? I noticed you was toting his hat for him.
Well, this here is Quirt Manley, Jethro.
Stop joking, Ellie Mae. I'm in a hurry. I want to ask him if I can borrow his pretty car to drive around the block a couple times.
Oh, yes, you may, Jethro. The car belongs to my father, so it's all right.
Phew! Hey, do you think he'd tear me to pieces if I borrowed his hat, too?
I can promise you he won't.
Mr. Manley, can I have a word with you, please?
I know what you're going to say, Mr. Clampett, and I don't blame you for wanting to shoot me.
Oh, ain't nothing like that at all. I just want to talk to you about Granny.
Guess I must have been a terrible disappointment to her.
She is a mite let down, but I think we can pull her out of it if we all tug together. Now, first off, I'm going to learn you how to shoot a gun, and Ellie here is going to learn you how to fight.
I'm afraid of guns, but I might like learning to fight.
Ma'am, you hadn't ought to jumped in the car like that, especially with me going pretty near 30 miles an hour.
I'd do anything to sit next to Court Manley.
But my name ain't Quirt Manley.
Don't think you can fool me. I've seen you on television. And I've dreamed of the day when I could get close enough to throw my arms around you and kiss you. My darling Court.
But honest, ma'am, my name is...
Your name is what?
My name is Kurt Manley. Girls, there's plenty for everybody.
I tell you, Granny, that little feller is a crack shot. He can stand on our front porch and light a match clean out by the front gate with a 6-shooter.
I don't believe it.
Come on out, he'll show you.
Jed tells me you're pretty good with them 6-shooters.
Granny, he's a blue-tailed marvel. He's gonna whip out them guns and bam, 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 light them 3 matches stuck in the ground down there this side of the wall.
I believe it when I see it.
All right.
Where are you going?
Oh, I can't bear to watch him. He puts me plumb to shame.
Well, come in shooting.
You count to 3, and I'll draw and fire.
1, 2, 3. Well, I gotta admit, that's pretty good. Why, you ain't even drawed your guns, you little faker, you!
Granny, hold on!
That little sawed-off faker out of here!
But Ellie's right fond of him. You see, Granny, some heroes is fighters and some heroes is lovers, and I reckon that little cowboy is a lover.
Oh, bosh! I'm gonna get my shotgun and blast the inside out of that lying TV set, and if he ain't gone by then, he's next!
Granny, wait!
Hey, look at there! Look at what I got!
Jethro, where'd you get all these girls?
Well, they think I'm a rich TV star.
Say, you girls counting the money. I'll show you how you can divide up that whole roll. He's a little cowboy inside there. All you got to do is go in there and make a big fuss over him and take on about how cute he is. Will you do it?
Sure. Jeff, them girls was mine!
You'll get him back, Jethro, as soon as they show Granny what a ladies' man little Quirt is.
The house is swarming with girls.
Yeah, you see who they's all crazy about?
You betcha. He's a real star, that little feller.